Hello,
Chat,
hello,
is this real?
everybody. Good night.
It's
How
real.
are you guys doing? Podcast time.
By the way, I don't have a camera. I'm AI. Bebop boop. Give me your
I love
CPUs.
his background. Death's background, that's phenomenal.
Who wants to?
My
Who
wife
wants to
likes your
give us-
background, Kid Death.
I do.
Tell her, I said thank you. Thank you very much.
I even
He
have
says
a
thank
green
you.
screen
Thank
on
you
this
very
one.
much.
It's nighttime. Necro, and I was saying Kid Death's background was cool.
Oh man, it's going to be a fun and interesting night. We are going to get into ranking the expansions.
Yes.
And we all know
And-
where everything is going to align and everybody is going to agree on everything.
I mean,
Because they're all going to agree with me.
Not happening.
You have to go into this thinking we're all individually correct, right?
Yeah,
And everyone else
Just
is
because
wrong.
I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just know I am correct. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Never let anyone change you, King.
You
You
see
know?
my little piece?
The list is in stone.
Oh man. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share the tier list because we're going to, I guess, dive right on into this.
Oh, about time.
I do want to mention, I really appreciate that message you sent me earlier about what's going on with, you know, the blood decays. I'm
I saw
definitely
it. I was like,
happy about that.
I saw it. I was like, oh, Necro's gonna be happy about this.
Yeah,
Pretty sure he is. He's a blood DK through and through. We can't get him to play DPS on there, and it's just like, come on, man.
I like
Yes.
tanking.
Come on,
Okay, I
man.
have 5 tanking classes, and I'm gonna get all of them up there. I actually
Yeah,
have all of them.
The tone entirely changes too. It's like, can we get you? It's like, it's just I can't.
No.
I got this shaman. I guess I don't. Asked him to tank. He's like, yeah, what key level? Yeah, only an 8. Yeah, sure. Let's.
Welcome.
Oh
back,
no!
everyone.
If I have you guys say it, like I don't know, I made the comment of, oh okay, I can tank a your level key rat, and you and rat both laid into me,
Yeah.
so I don't want to hear
What
it.
do you mean by your level?
Well, you
That-
worded
that
it in
was-
a way like, oh, I will make time for the peasantry of the keys that are not 10s.
Also, it looks like we have Call Me Kiss 4 into chat. Saying,
What's
I heard
up,
this
Call
is where
Me?
The best podcast was. That's so wow.
Yes, it is.
That's so wow.
Welcome on.
Call Me is a great person. She plays with my wife all the time. We get together and play some games. So if you're not following her already, I would.
Man, Call Me has so many songs attached to it that it makes my ADHD brain just start.
Oh yeah, now I'm singing one in my head too. Yeah, thanks for that.
It is. Yeah, it is so. There's so many.
All right, so let's
Oh, wow.
redirect your ADHD brain there, and
He lies. His wife is definitely the best.
I mean, she is the best. I can't say that she's not. I love her to death.
Better.
It's like looking to see if she heard me.
She did.
I fear for you, Necro.
Oh, she meant my
No,
wife.
I am absolutely.
Okay, was his first. Oh, she's taking her now. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she enjoys playing the games that she likes to enjoy. So, I mean, she used to play WoW with me. She used to play Shaman or Preservation Evoker, but she just doesn't do it anymore.
Oh.
But I think we should probably just jump right on in. And since Mr. ADHD is having trouble focus, we'll get him first.
I was reeling it in, but what are we? We're starting chronological. Hey, we're going vanilla.
We're going vanilla.
Vanilla.
What do we go vanilla? I put vanilla on A.
Ooh.
That might surprise some people. Yeah. But I would like that's it, it's near and dear to me. I loved vanilla. It was such a grind. Me and my buddies started playing it all together. There was like 6 of us, so it was just really fun to navigate and stuff. It'll always resonate with me for being probably the best social aspect of WoW. Like that was social WoW at its peak was vanilla. It just, from guilds to trade chats to the auction house to just say, yell, everything. It was the peak of it. So I think that, yeah, I'm comfy with it being an A.
A solid point. You know, I don't think anyone can disagree with that.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
so where do you put it on optimize?
Well, I'm going to disagree immediately. No, just kidding. No, we'll.
I'm gonna fight someone so quick in this
fully
podcast.
fully transparent here. This is one of the only expansions I never played originally. I obviously played the 2019 edition, but I've been told that that was a totally different experience. But I still got some like aspects from it. But I want to be as fair as I can since I didn't have direct interaction with this expansion. I'm going to put this at B tier because I didn't have any interaction with it. The only interaction I had with 2019 was it was a lot of fun. It was very grindy. I very much felt more in tune with my character, which probably translate back to the original version because I joined WoW in 2006. So Burning Crusade was my first expansion. So I feel confident putting this at a B tier just because I had no hands-on experience OG wise.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kid, where are you at with this one?
I'm at a B, but I have my reasons for being at a B. And y'all may not like it. You may not. But there were things in classic. Well, vanilla. Vanilla is what we called it then. Now they call it classic. One.
I clearly do nothing but read children's books a lot.
The grind was probably the hardest grind you will ever have in a game. That grind
Agreed.
and vanilla was god awful. God awful. It was like running through molasses while somebody's on your back and you just can't move. It was bad. It was bad.
That's one way to describe it.
Did you get hurt?
No mounts. No
Yeah,
mounts.
40.
No mounts. Let's just call it what it is. You was walking everywhere. You was catching a griffin or a wyvern. you was just stuck. You just couldn't. No. Imagine starting off, and I tell people this: making a dwarf, having to run from Ironforge to Menethil Harbor.
Oh,
Just
man.
that there in itself was like, you know what?
Blowing things up.
Yeah, I'm no. And
You could spend 20 minutes getting to a quest.
Yeah, you did that, and that was the thing. The bad things about WoW then, people actually ate up because you'd run into a quest you didn't see before, or if some areas, if you strayed off the path and went into the darkness, you were dead.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it. You run off that
Duskwood
path
for that, right?
Yeah, you run off that path just a little bit, you're getting jumped.
Yeah.
Sometimes you run on the path and you're getting jumped.
Yeah,
they literally
abomination. Yeah,
they had rares walking. They had rares walking in the middle of the path. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to come this way yet, but keep going. The worst thing I will say about vanilla was raiding. 40 people. Yeah, that 40 people in Molten Core was rough. Just to get 40 people, and they didn't have eye level back then. Really, it was just you kind of got your gear from where you got it from and whatnot. Yeah, there was really eye level wasn't a thing back then.
Was it called Gear Score? I think
it was a little flawed.
Yeah,
it was more based on it was still pre-Biz and Bis, still existed, but you're looking at like certain patches for vanilla had like the Storm Shroud leather crafted set, which was kind of Bis for every melee possible. You know what I mean? So like it was even warriors were in like mostly leather.
You had warriors wearing
that kind of thing. So because you're gunning for hit, and that's where most of your hit was, right? So like you guys were all kind of dressed a little funky until you were in raiding gear.
Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, you had spirit gear on warriors, agility on priest robes. It was just, hey, it is what it is. Make it work.
Yeah, we have wife aggro, and we need to take a second.
What password do you need, wife? Because I'll get you it. Do not cut the internet. Gee whiz. What is going on? I just caught
I need the password.
YouTube TV. All right, let me investigate that. We'll keep going. Hold on.
All right. Well, I'll pick up.
But and the good thing though, it was fun. Your progression, granted, the grind was real, but the progression you couldn't level to 60 in a weekend like now.
Streaming with me the whole time.
You couldn't. You know, everything was brand new. It was fresh. It was something that we've seen MMOs, but we didn't see an MMO of this caliber before then. So
Oh, I also just want to bring up, dude, it was a glory time because when you had raid times and you were talking about 40-man raids, but then like the Alliance was all summoning and stuff like that while a Horde raid showed up, it was
wars broke out
on site. It was on
warfare,
site no matter what. It was always like from the beginning of that game until like TBC came out, it was just Alliance versus Horde, like on site. Didn't matter levels, nothing. Like the game didn't matter. It was war.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Summoning stones were basically battlegrounds.
Oh, it was so good, man. It was so good.
So
like Crossroads was just like a breeding ground for warfare. It was great. But anyway, Necro still needs to put his up there.
I am also going to rate it at an A.
I'm
I didn't have to deal with some of the things that you guys did because I never actually made it to rating because I hit 62 weeks before Burning Crusade came out. Okay.
I just verified it, by the way, wife.
And for me, the thing is that the zones were super immersive. There was a different social aspect to the game thing. Like, different than any other game I had played at that time.
Yeah.
It was the very first, like, MMORPG that I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I had seen people playing EverQuest, okay? But WoW was just a whole step above that.
Oh, what a beautiful game EverQuest was. Good shout out. Good shout out.
So, I think that for the beginning of this 20-year-long game, I think it deserves an A. Just because of how big of a pull it had from the beginning.
Yeah. I think I would be at A too, honestly, just if I actually played it, or if the 2019 version was 1-for-1, and obviously I don't think it was, so that's why mine's a B, because again, if I didn't do it, I can't really efficiently rate it.
Right.
But you're gonna do it anyway.
All right. So who wants to start with Burning Crusade?
Exactly.
Oh, I will, because you'll be surprised at my rating. Okay.
Okay.
So Burning Crusade was my first expansion. I didn't really get into it that much. Obviously, I got to max level, and I didn't really participate in endgame content. I was still trying to figure out the game. But post-mortem, I rate the Burning Crusade as a C tier expansion.
Wow.
Now you're probably wondering why. You're probably like, wait a minute. Whoa. Yeah. And it's because I believe that World of Warcraft shines when the world story. I know that Legion was part of the story. I think we just dived into Legion, into the Legion, not the actual expansion, a little bit too fast. I think they should have stayed on Azeroth and developed more stories there. You're being your second expansion, you're already off world, and that kind of set the kind of the standard of like, now we can go off world and do our own thing, right? Now obviously the next couple expansions were on world, but Burning Crusade took us off world. I think again,
which direction did you
it rather thrives. Again, it was good systems. The raids were fun, the dungeons were fun, the zones were awesome to dive into that lore, to dive into the Warcraft lore. But I think it was a mistake. I think it would have been better if they did it like after the Lich King, maybe if the Lich King was next, or maybe some other thing. And I think that's might be what Classic Plus is going to be about, right? Is what happens if we didn't go to the Outlands after, in the Burning Crusade? What if we did something else on Azeroth before the Lich King, before Kata?
I think she's gonna
So
beat us to
that's
it.
why I'm putting this at a C, because again, I think there should only be one S and one D in my opinion, right? So that's why it's a C.
Okay,
Because
alright.
again, also you could make an argument that flying was added into the game at that point, right? And it started the process of making the game faster and faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which it probably needed, right? But you can make an argument that was also a kind of you know, a system that kind of snowballed into where we are now. That's my justification of C.
No, where are you
All right,
going?
who's next?
He says C.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be harsh, but I'm gonna be fair. I actually give Burning Crusade an A,
Okay.
Oh.
but I'm finna be very mean
Oh,
and
geez.
and very vocal. TBC was overrated.
Thank you.
I gave it an A, but it was overrated, and it's not for the reasons that he said.
Oh, okay.
Practically at the top.
First of all,
He agrees with me. No, wait.
attunements were hell. Getting attuned to every heroic, getting attuned to a dungeon, getting attuned to a raid was stupid.
I'm so thankful that that stuff's gone, by the way, in modern WoW.
It was so
Yeah.
stupid. It was like gatekeeping on top of gatekeeping on top of gatekeeping. You couldn't get in a raid unless you had disattunement key. Remember in the water dungeon, you had to get attuned to this one. We had to do this one, do this one to get attuned to the one in the middle, and then you needed that one to get into the raid.
Yeah,
So
SSC was a
imagine,
little funky.
yeah, SSC, there it is. Yeah, that in itself is an issue. It's like, imagine if we're in a 40-man raid. You got one person who's the main tank that hasn't done none of the hasn't done any of the whatchamacallits. Guess what? Now you got to wait on him to get attuned to it so you can do the raid. It's just no, you couldn't. It was a problem.
If you run,
Flying mounts kill
distance,
PvP.
there's a crack.
I know a lot of us don't PvP like that.
I won't disagree with that. Actually, that actually makes some sense.
They're both.
They killed world PvP, yeah.
Yeah.
It did. You couldn't. It was like, all I gotta do is just dive in and run out.
Watch me. Okay.
Here's the one that y'all
Don't
might
do that. Hold on.
not take
Okay,
seriously.
ready?
Outlands looked like a Doom level. If you were playing Doom 64,
I'm
you
Mary
felt
Poppins.
that's what it looked like.
Did
Yeah.
you watch?
You got these big old
Yeah.
walkers walking around. It looked like a Doom level.
Yeah, I can see it.
I would love to see a remastered Outlands.
I don't think you would.
No.
Well, you probably would. I'm sorry. I don't
We're
know.
top.
I don't want to see it. No, I don't. Outlands is Outlands. It's gonna look the same. It's nothing. It's orange.
It's me.
There's nothing there.
No,
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to. What's there? What's out? The only thing that looks good in Outlands is
hey, there's a shady spot right here.
SSC because it's green. Everything else is either purple or orange.
Yeah.
Terracar Forest. That's all the green you got. You don't have anything else green. You have purple and orange. What's left? I mean, really, that was it. But TBC did bring good things. They brought us Karazhan. Let's be clear, one of the coolest dungeons that you had. Kel'Thas was a joke twice.
Karazhan was a raid, not a dungeon.
Well, you know what I meant. They gave us Karazhan as a raid. That's what I'm saying.
That's the first 10-man raid.
I reversed in my head.
That's what I meant. They gave us Karazhan. Karazhan was great.
Mm-hmm.
Illidan, man, it didn't make any sense until you got out there to where the Black Temple was, out there in Shadow Moon Valley. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll go through that. We kill Illidan, it's okay. Yeah, wasn't nothing big. There was no real buildup, for him being quote unquote the big bad.
I haven't.
You didn't see him till you got there. As with other expansions, you saw technically who you were dealing with throughout the expansion in certain places.
Oh,
I think the story was kind of juggled.
That,
So
oh, what you doing?
That's how I feel about Burning Crusade.
Before anyone else goes, thank you, Danny, by the way, for the sub. I appreciate it. And
Oh, what a
if you're,
legend.
if you're not back at work, thank you so much. And I am a podcaster now, and I don't stream on Thursdays because I play Civ with other people, so I don't usually stream that.
Other AI bots, beep boop. Beep, boop.
Yeah, exactly. Bebop boop CPU.
Next.
All right. So do
Who's next
you
on
want
the-
me to go or you want to go, Siege?
No, you go ahead. You go.
All right.
Siege feels some kind of way right now. I can't hear it in
I'm
his voice.
just no. You go ahead.
I am going to rate Burning Crusade at a B.
Okay, we're all different.
Okay. I personally think that overall, the expansion was fun. I agree that it didn't make a whole lot of sense jumping from, Molten Core to, hey, we're going through the Dark Portal. But I do think that it brought in a lot of the things that we like a lot of memorable moments. Yeah, Illidan might not make a whole lot of sense, but that trailer that they did with the "You Are Not Prepared" thing is the
Trailer
most quoted thing out there.
Are you sure about the most quoted thing out there? Because I think I know what the true most quoted thing is out there.
I'm not. Don't fact check me. Don't fact check me. It's
How
one
dare
of the
you do
most
that.
quoted things. I can't say that it is
one
the
of the,
most
one of the
quoted.
most one of the most quoted.
Ooh,
yes.
there's not.
Yeah. It's. I know it's quoted enough that people that don't play WoW know the quotation.
Yeah.
Crap! What the frick?
True.
True that. True that. True that.
I also liked Karazhan a lot. I liked Karazhan a lot, and I want to say that's because it was my actual first raid. It's the first thing I ever raided. Because I missed out on all of the in-game raids at for vanilla. So Karazhan was my first raid. And it was actually my first experience tanking. So that's where I stand,
Okay, Siege, I gotta hear this because it seems like
Okay, well, okay. Most of you are wrong, but it's an A.
Oh.
You make some good points though. Like I do agree with the flying ruining world PvP because people would just start floating over certain areas, and I mean, this is also the glory days of warlocks and shadow priests, right? Like they were absurdly overpowerful. Like
yeah, they were.
flying or not, if they got their hands on you for a second, you're off that mount, right? Like you're off.
What's up,
So
Juke?
that is a downfall. Like I found that the class balance was super shaky. That it was a thing with they tried their best after vanilla because vanilla just had dominant specs. Like there was just meta. Like that was if you ran a paladin, you were likely holy. You know what I mean? Like it just that's kind of how it ran.
Yeah.
But they introduced so much new stuff. I actually do like the fact that they pulled in the new races and how they pulled them in, right? So I actually do kind of like that because it was without making any changes to the landscape. How would have you added any new race? So we wouldn't have had a new race if they didn't do that.
True.
So they would have had to have added some way for this new race that we have all scoured this landscape for the last however long. So we needed something, and that opened it up for a little bit more expansion in that. The heroic dungeons, I do agree. Like the rep was a little bit of a thing, but the tabards were there too, so it was a bit grindy. But it wasn't like you were farming dailies or anything like later expansions had you do. It was very much like just put in the work and you could get it right. And I kind of liked that in a sense. Karazhan, goated. Serpent Shrine, I actually very much enjoyed as much as it was like a tactical nightmare. It was kind of fun.
Oh,
Black
God.
Temple, very much enjoyed. Sunwell, I even very much enjoyed Sunwell. There was different little mechanics that they threw at you, super fun. PvP was a bit weird because that's when they pulled in resilience, and it was a little bit shaky for a while there. They had their moment where that was extremely overpowered, and then it just wasn't at all. And then there was a weird in between. So I put it as an A. So it's not my S, but it's right up there. Going through that gate for the first time with all of like that wait at the front gate to go into Oaklands was unreal. It was unreal.
Yeah.
Like you had to fight for like 15 minutes just to get through this portal, but there's just another 15 minutes fight on the other side. So it was like, okay.
As soon as you walk through, it was like, wait a minute, hold on. I just left a fight on the other side. There's more?
Yeah, your 5-minute loading screen that you just got disconnected from 4 times for the, like it was just chaos, but it was so
Is Bing Bong
good.
still in my backpack?
So good.
Also, hello, Juke.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Juke, how you doing? All right, so we're going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to go first on this one.
Oh, this one. Let's see.
This one.
This
So
guy.
this one for me, as almost everybody would probably already know, is my S tier. To me, this one, it brought in the class that I love to play the most, the Death Knight. The storyline took me back to the Warcraft games. Like, I got to pull some of the stuff that I remember playing in the games into the actual World of Warcraft, and it just made sense to me. It was so much fun. The storyline with Arthas, Northrend zones were great to look at. It was just immersive. I loved the raids. The dungeons had some of the mechanics in it that I haven't seen since then. I would love to see another jousting dungeon. I'm sorry, that one was a blast.
I remember that.
That was so
Yeah,
much
proud
fun.
champion.
So I'm sorry, but this, to me, this is the S tier, top notch expansion that we've had so far.
Okay.
Now I know somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, but whatever.
Well, I mean, there's no denying. I guess I'll go next. There's no denying the prestige that is the Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, and I do love me Wrath of the Lich King, but it's not my S tier expansion. But this is definitely an A tier expansion. Okay, so it's going in the A because obviously this is one of the first expansions that I kind of started going into it a little bit more hardcore. Right, the Burning Crusade was my introduction. And this was the expansion where I was actually a tank. I was actually a DK tank as well. And I thought being a tank was just having a lot of stamina, right? I didn't think about like dodge or block or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So
mitigation. What's that on its?
I just got all of the I just got everything that had the most stamina on it, and I felt great. I had no idea what I was doing, but I felt great. And I mean, you had all these great systems. You had the, dungeon finder, right? Obviously, double-edged sword there. It made finding groups easier. But then we saw the side effects in the later expansions where it took away some of the social aspect, right? So again, double-edged sword there. That's why it's an S tier. I mean, it's not an S tier, an A tier because it has some negatives, right? And it was not all, golden sails. I don't think any expansion had, fully, you know, golden. Even my S tier had some problems, but I remember watching the trailer too of like those two like people questing throughout Northrend, and one got killed by a Yeti. And you remember that cutscene? Yeah,
Yep.
and it hits. It hits so good, and I don't know. I think it was one of the expansions that I was in high school. I think I was in high school. It came out in 2008, right? So yeah, high school. And I don't know. I just remember getting on my crappy laptop. I would get 20 frames a second and probably had more fun than what I'm having right now. So
this is what y'all said.
That's why it's A tier. Because again, the only reason it's not S tier is just, again, my S tier is a little bit better in my opinion. But yeah, I mean the Lich King is infamous too.
Yay!
The fight's amazing.
All right, you eat one.
Still don't have Invincible, by the way. Feels bad.
Me either.
Yeah, it sucks. But
Poor people.
I know. Even with the bounties, the collector's bounty, I didn't get it. Whatever. Juke, what you just said in chat is actually illegal. But But yeah, A tier for Wrath of the Lich King for unoptimized fool for sure.
We'll get to what you said here in a little bit, Juke. That's going to be coming down the line, but nope, I'm not responding to that.
Yeah,
All right, who would like to go next?
I will pick me. I have it as my S tier too. I want to agree. It's S tier. I want to agree.
Good, give it.
Put it up there, number 2.
I'm gonna let all y'all go before the lawyer in me comes out.
All right. So this was the perfect thing. So I know that me and Unoptimize actually disagree when it comes to the dungeon finder, but I know that did kill a lot of the social aspect of it. But I loved that thing. I loved that.
Don't get me wrong. Like 90% of me loves it. 10% of me acknowledges what it did. So
and then the 10% of you that acknowledges it realizes that it's like 50% responsible for killing. You know what I mean? Like it totally makes sense, but it was the raids. I don't include Nax. I think Nax was just kind of like a pushover way to throw purples at people, just to like get them into raids and get them into maybe into guilds, whatever. I'm not too sure, but Ulduar I actually secretly loved, and ICC was the best raid.
Man,
the best raid. I'm going in chronological order, so that was the most fun I've ever had in a raid was in ICC heroics. Like it was just so fun.
I think there's got to be a better way.
The end gear inflation, a little bit of a downside on around. Like it's kind of like that's when like Fury Warriors were just lapping and like just 2-button macros were just wrecking things on certain classes and stuff. So like it stuck around for a little too. Like if you were playing it on Warmane or something, it was just so congested with everyone in BIS that it was like there was almost no point in it anymore. But it was still such a fun expansion that people just have 12 characters that are just BIS. You know what I mean? They just love running the raid.
Take a seat.
Very good.
All
All
right. Finished? Oh,
it's my fave.
My turn?
Your
Is
turn.
it my turn?
It's your turn.
On the floor.
I'm about to be like, damn it, I'm about to make a name for myself.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to us right now?
C.
C?
Yes.
You have to go explain yourself.
What?
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I
you might
plan
know.
to. Oh, I plan to.
Be ready to.
First of all,
carry me
let's talk about accessibility overkill.
I'm sorry.
You created Group Finder. It was 90% bad, 10% good because it took away the one thing that World of Warcraft was always about. It was about meeting people. When we didn't have that in vanilla, didn't have it in Burning Crusade. You had to go out there and meet people. You had to meet up in front of a dungeon like, hey, you need a DPS, you need this, you need that. You got Group Finder. Oh, I'm a DPS. Let me just that took the fun out of it for me. Part of the nostalgia of World of Warcraft for me still is going out. If I'm in the middle of a quest and I see somebody, I'm gonna help them. And I send a message, hey, you need something or this, that, and the other. With Group Finder came out, it basically took all that away. You stop meeting people on a normal basis. You just, hey, you hopped in a group. Oh, here we go. I'm with somebody I don't know. But do you even talk in those groups? No, you don't. Even nowadays, it's the same thing. You hit the Group Finder button, Necro's just going to tank his way straight through, and it's like, don't have to say a word. I can just tank straight through the thing and be done with it. That's bad. That's not good for the game. Then you add content recycling. You gave us Nax. We just did Nax at the end of vanilla. For what reason? Why? Why bring it back? I get where you're saying it was kind of like, okay, we're going to give them blues. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I get it. You want to keep them in the game. You want to keep them. I get it. But content recycling, and yes, they do it a lot now still. They still recycle certain things over and over and over and over. Yeah, it is what it is. I got tired of seeing Arthur's face every day.
What?
I love him as a character, as a villain, because I always root for the villains. I always root for villains. I mean, I like Unoptimized said earlier, I'm a Sith Lord in disguise.
Yeah.
I root for the villains. But sometimes you don't have to have your villains there all the time. You know they're there. You know they're working behind the scenes, but you don't need to see his face. Remember the 3 dungeons they added in one of the patches where they were basically talking about him and building his army, and you had to go through the hall, and every 5 minutes he shows up or he says something or he does something. All that wasn't needed.
Oh, you're talking
We
about the
know
Timeway ones, right?
No, not the.
Well,
They're part of time walking
it's
now.
Forge of Souls,
Mm.
Pit of Sauron, and Halls.
Halls of Remembrance or something like that, right?
Can we pause for a second? The Forge of Souls has the craziest and out of place soundtrack in all World of Warcraft. By the way,
It does.
It's
So
like guitar
does.
riffs and solos, dude. I love it. Anyway, sorry. I
know,
wanted to mention that.
Again, I can say recycled content because you literally had the Trial of Crusader and the trial of the other one, the 2 trials basically take place in one room. And you just changed up bosses. You didn't give us really anything. It was a bigger arena, true enough, but you still basically had the same. It was a 1-room raid. A boss rush, basically. You could have made it where you had that big old pavilion like they had it, and you were different wings. You had this wing, you had that wing, and then once you got through with that, that's me. You know, it's that they made the classes all feel the same too in certain cases. You know, it was like a DPS was more useful than a hybrid class, like say a Shadow Priest, where you could do a little bit of both. You could heal and DPS when you needed to. Now everybody felt the same. You know, it was just sometimes I feel like with Wrath there were all of these things that hindered original World of Warcraft players who play vanilla and who play Burning Crusade. A lot of people came in. We call them Wrath babies because that's when they came in.
Sure, it's well known term.
So it's like I'm not going to take anything away from Wrath because yes, some of the stuff was good. I'm not going to lie. Some of it was great. Arthas has his place in villainy among all evil in Azeroth. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
He does, but again, too much of it's like with Vader in not Endor, but Rebel 1. You knew who he was. You knew everybody talked about him. You didn't need to see him till the end of the movie. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
You didn't need to see him every time you went from zone to zone to zone to zone. Arthas is there. Arthas is here. You started in the Howling Forge. You go through that one, the max level dungeon. He's turning people into Valkyries in the dungeon. Like, come on.
Well, I'm gonna eat the snack.
I think there was 3 major shifts in all World of Warcraft history that has like divided the players, right? Like obviously, first major shift was Lich King, because you had all the modern systems of like the convenience of the group finder, right? Which then made people want to go back to classic and then went to private servers. And then Legion had a big shift of like how mythic dungeons work, right? And that they introduced that. And then Dragonflight was another shift in players and basically modernizing the systems even further. So I can see that happening. Because again, like if you were more in love with the classic systems, but Lich King was that turning point where you went to private servers at that point,
So
I can see
I stand by my C. That's my thing.
Wow.
You know, if you have a rebuttal, please be my guest.
I'm good. You know what I'm surprised though is like I support. I don't support your claim here, but I do see your claim. But I'm surprised that I didn't see your S tier already.
No, you
Expansion.
haven't. You haven't.
I was gonna say I'm surprised I didn't though, because it sounds like you were more in tune with the older versions of WoW. So I'm actually very curious to see what your S tier is though. So
So I mean, I can understand your point of view. I can disagree with it, but I can understand it.
That's where I'm at too. I can definitely disagree with it, but I definitely can see where you're coming at.
I do. The one thing I will say that I agree with everybody is I do think that Group Finder was not done well. It could have been done differently and still had the social aspect in it. But I think that was the point where we started having people going, well, these people don't know who I am. If I just leave in the middle of the dungeon, it doesn't matter.
I
You
think
Yeah,
it
know,
was a
there was no penalty for it. We're just now getting to the point where there's a penalty for it.
yeah, I think it was a
Had they
necessary
had they
evil.
did that from it, if they did that from jump, that would have happened.
No, this is the
Mhm.
way to go.
I think it was a necessary evil, unfortunately, because I did see a lot of
Where are you going?
push. I saw a lot of complaining, especially when I first started playing the Burning Crusade, and I've seen old forum posts of like people complaining like, oh, it's so
I
hard
like how
finding
I'm making
groups.
noises
We
like
need
I'm
we
actually
need some
one
sort
fighting
of
rocks
system,
right now.
and I think it really helped elevate what is now still one of the best. Well, according to the sales number,
I
one of the
know, I've
best
done
selling
that a few
expansions in
times,
World
like
of Warcraft history.
looking around.
it's actually the peak of World of Warcraft's like player base too. If
12
you
million,
look
right?
at that's when World of Warcraft peaked. That expansion has had the most players. I think if when I remember looking at it, I want to say it's the peak of players, active players,
Yeah, 12 million, I think it was, or
Yeah.
something like that.
All right, next.
All right. Wow.
All right, who wants to start us off with Kata?
Cataclysm. What about this song? Should
I
I
gave
start? Oh, you let's go
I,
kid. You
I'll
go
go.
kid. Yeah.
Kata was kind of a reset for me after
Notice how I said I want to be.
Wrath. I actually
I
gave
sang
Kata
my
A
own version.
because I have a thing for dragons,
Okay.
Oh no.
and Deathwing is just
He is
that
a
guy.
dragon.
He's that guy. I'm
Oh,
sorry. It was
good.
just
Wait,
He
where are
is
you?
him.
yeah, he really was. It was just like I don't care. And I like the aspect of him
Oh, yeah,
where
that happens.
when you're
Hold
playing,
on.
he just pops up and torches an area. I thought that was one of the coolest
I don't know where.
things that always
I
went
have a rope.
around
If she's right below me,
when he was
I'm
doing it. I thought it
fine.
was so cool
Here.
because you got to think about it. They gave it to somebody else too. They let somebody else do
Did
that
you
later
even wash your hair?
down the road.
Oh
But
yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? You know his name? Yeah, we
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah we do.
I kind of
But
want
I
to sneak
think
you
Kata
away.
gave us more story, a lot more story beats, and a lot more lore than we thought we were going to get. And I'm a lore person, and I
You're
love
not playing Switch
when you
anymore.
can tell me a story.
You're done with
And
it.
the stories that we're telling with the new
Oh, gotcha.
zones and the stories that,
Got
because I
it.
mean, take it for what it's worth. Everybody hated Vashir, but I loved it.
And if something else happens, that's
Just-
it.
Everybody hated it because it's underwater. You can't move. You can't do this. I enjoyed it.
Me
I'm
I
not
too.
gonna
miss
lie. I
I miss my seahorse mount to this day.
Oh no! Jeez, grab me!
And
No,
again,
no,
that's when we
grabbing it,
started going back, classes, and
I'm so scared.
they're trying to have this class. They were trying to build class separation again, where you could
Yeah,
tell,
I'm just, I
you
don't
could see
know
a
how
hybrid
to
class, and you
whether.
knew it was a hybrid class.
Hallelujah.
So they
Will you
started
wait
trying to
here
go
for a
back down
minute?
that road. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a lot of. Only thing I can say about Kata, the raids were kind of
Can you get away from the
iffy
edge?
at some point
You're
because you
making
had a
me
lot of
nervous.
them.
Mhm.
I wasn't. I was
Had a
reaching
lot of
out to
raids. Had a
hold
lot
you.
of stuff going on.
Up here?
Dragon Soul. What can I say about it? It's
Ugh.
Where?
Dragon Soul. I mean, I got to
Oh, I
fly
was like,
on
wait, what?
Deathwing. I don't know
Okay,
what
well,
else
let
to
me
say
see how
about
far I
that.
can
I got
get
to
up
fly on
here, and I'll
Deathwing.
wait up here.
What else is there to say? I got to ride a dragon.
They need to make that legacy raid a little bit easier though. I'm just gonna say that right now.
So,
Like the scales, dealing with the scales on legacy, you have to because
What do you mean?
you go through the mechanics so easily, but it's not the fight wasn't designed that way. Anyway, that's a
That'll
minor
give her
point.
extra
But
energy.
Well, since
yep,
you're
we
already
can move
talking
there.
unoptimized, you can go.
all right, guys. So again, Cataclysm. What an
Mm,
expansion, huh?
sweet, yes.
Well, so honestly, guys, I'm gonna say this right now. Cataclysm is my S tier expansion.
Oh wow.
I fell in love with this
Oh, Kiss is
expansion.
like,
First of
I'm gonna
all, the
keep on
first thing we were
going.
introduced with Deathwing, he absolutely destroys
I don't know where my
everything.
TV remote
He's
is.
just
I'm
like,
gonna-
"Hey guys, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'm
Stormwind,
I'm gonna
this
find out.
dam. Bye. See you later." Right? I don't want to talk to you. I loved it because one, it transformed Azeroth. It created, it modified older zones. and it created new storylines, new questing, right? Basically, I went through all of the older zones. Again, I don't think every zone was updated with the story, but every zone had like a minor change to it, right? Because of Deathwing. And I think, and I complain about this in Modern WoW all the time, that all the old zones just sit in just, they're collecting dust. They have no visual changes, they have no story changes since Kata. Like that dam that he destroyed in Cataclysm is
Still not
still
built there.
destroyed. It's still the same, right? And I think Cataclysm was a bold move, and it didn't pay off, right? A lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoy when the world updates around me, right? It's an active open world, right? I love seeing, the storyline progress, right? In the wetlands, we saw, I think it was the wetlands, no, Dustwood Marsh, I think it was, that town that got flooded because of Deathwing, right? It had new
Harbor.
storyline, yeah, in that
Menacedale.
harbor, right? Yeah, and stuff like that. And I think, excluding the raids, again, I didn't really
Oh, that's a
participate
smart
too
choice.
much in the raiding at that point,
Oh, you just
but
left me
like
all alone.
I
Kyle
I'm
changed.
a big story guy. I'm a level designer when I make games, and I love when worlds change throughout you just playing them. And I think Cataclysm was gonna set that bar. I wish they continued with
I wish I had
changes
focus.
to the zones every once in a while. Like I know we get some minor changes here and there to zones for patches and all that, but
Yes, do it.
I wish
Do it.
Cataclysm
Do it.
was a a turning point for WoW.
This is
Like I think
quite
it
a
was a good
trek.
initiative. Um so again, S tier for me, just because again it made the world fresh again, right? Because I've already gone through all the storylines at that point, and now I
I
can go
have another
back
rope
and
cannon, but I don't know if
expand the
it's do
story.
any
There's
good.
more
It should get
progression
taken over
with how
together.
those zones, materialize. But unfortunately, since that Blizzard has abandoned that model and has really disappointed me with that. So, S tier expansion, huge expansion for me.
All right, Siege, you want to go next, or you want me to?
Well, I'll go. I'm just connecting the dot that this is when Transmog came out too.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
really big. I'm pretty sure it is, right? Kata was Transmog.
Either that or Miss.
Yeah. So I
I'll look.
mean,
I'll look while you're
I have
talking.
the
okay, yeah. So
kitchen rope.
if it was Transmog, I have it as an
It
A.
goes up instead of down.
Cataclysm. Yep.
If it's
First, it
Here,
was the
okay,
first
don't
major
it's
don't
patch of
really
Cataclysm.
here, have them.
just saved it. All right, so it's an A for me. Like the
Okay.
Transmog system's huge, and it's obviously something that completely changed the game. And now finally we're
Or
starting to transmog item slots rather than
I don't
the
even know.
items themselves,
She
which
got
is
the
going to be
magic
Woohoo.
awesome.
too, but
Well, it's
she
going to
put it on
save
the
me so
side
much
and then
money.
walked up it. Yeah,
But I
Okay.
you can
didn't.
make it
I
at an
wasn't
angle. You
really
put it
sold on
like
Kata
right there,
really all
maybe,
that much. I had it as a B at first. Like I
and then
kind
she
of
could walk up
I
to
got to Dragon
here.
Soul. I did Dragon Soul and stuff, but the thing lasted like damn near a year, right? Like
Yeah,
Dragon
you
Soul was
will.
like
No, there's smaller
drawn out.
spots up here.
Yeah, Dragon
So it
Soul
was like
lasted
it
a while.
started getting a little old. Like
Oh, to that angle.
Wrath even
Okay,
started getting a
okay.
little old. But I mean, Dragon Soul
Okay.
was kind of like that and then some. So it was, eventually it was one of those ones that near the end of it I peeled away from. I was like, I mean, I'm done. I'm done. But it pulled out exact transmog, so
I would
it holds it.
I would put it on her side, not on this side.
Yeah,
Because it needs
Transmog's
to go
nice.
down and it's not going.
All right.
I have a beef with Transmog though, but it's okay.
So I have it at a C.
Oh man,
I knew it was gonna be somebody.
That's
I
okay.
have it as a
You
C.
know,
I'm
This
Stop
is
criminal
the
scum.
this is the expansion that caused me to become a Fairweather fan. I would come back at the
Really?
beginning of each expansion and play it to max level, and then I would quit. I felt so disconnected from the in-game story. Yeah, Deathwing came in, he destroyed a bunch of things, but we didn't come out really to find out why until BFA, really. We had ideas as to why. It just didn't feel as immersive as the previous three were for me. On top of that, when I was looking into it back in the day, this is the first expansion after they got rid of Chris Metzen, I think his name is, like the main
They
storyteller.
didn't get rid of him. They didn't get rid of him. He left.
That's debatable. Okay, he was asked to leave, type thing. But part of one of the stories I was reading about it says the reason that they did Deathwing the way they did it is they wanted to destroy a lot of what Chris Metzen had made. It just kind of like overwrite what he had done to start fresh. Which, if that's the case, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good to me.
There's the other part about it. It didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
If that was the message they were trying to send, it didn't work.
Right.
Because now we're back to square one all over again.
Yeah.
Right. And on top of that, for me, this, like, we're fighting Deathwing. How do we fight Deathwing? We're fighting a scale on his back. We're fighting a scale on his back.
You cannot tell me that was not epic.
You see my room?
You can't sit here and say
premise,
that was not epic.
The premise behind it was absolutely epic. The way they put it together was very lackluster to me. And then,
But wait a minute. You're the same guy who said that Wrath was S tier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the dungeon, the raid was a 1-room raid was okay, but the jousting was okay, but we're riding on the back of a dragon is not okay.
I think
I didn't say riding on the back of a dragon is not okay. Deathwing was this huge dragon that we had to fight. The way we fought him, to me, just seemed very lackluster. It didn't seem as epic as it should have been for riding on the back of a freaking dragon. It just seemed very meh. That's just my opinion.
That's my dopamine levels where I peaked at that moment in life. My dopamine levels peaked at that
moment. Other issue with that, though, is when you kill Deathwing, this massive dragon, and we take him back to the city, and his head is not proportionate to his body. It
wasn't his head. That was a scale. That wasn't his head.
That was a wait. Is that
wasn't
his?
That was a scale.
It was supposed to be his head. They changed it to a scale because it was disproportionate, but I'm pretty sure it started off as his head. Either that or the person who designed it did a horrible job, and it made it look like a head to me. I'm just saying.
It didn't look like a head. It looked like a scale.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I think the quest was either said scale of Deathwing or head of Deathwing. I don't think it was the head. I think it was a scale.
I'm looking up right now.
But I can't compare a 1-room raid to riding on the back of is lackluster.
Well, I can't say ICC was way better than riding on the back of the dragon. Now, did the dragon have a lot more potential? Absolutely. I just think they didn't deploy it well. It wasn't done well. It could have been done way better than they did it.
Be mean to me.
Just saying.
That is crazy.
All right.
I actually really liked the 1-room fight, man. Like, I liked the fact that it was like a gladiatorial arena. Like, it was like, there's no escape to this. There's no kiting. There was, but like you're stuck. You're in a cage. You know what I
mean? No, you're right. No, I'm not. It's just that when we talk about, and I know Unoptimized talks about it a lot because he develops and stuff. But when you're trying to do something different, I guess open space means more because we were on the back for Dragon, but there was space and there were mechanics that made sure you did everything correctly. In that
Mhm.
one room, in that one room raid, you can get away with a little bit more than you can when
No, there's not.
because you couldn't run off Death. You could fall off Deathwing in the middle of the fight.
You get blown off by the wind.
Not even by the wind. If you step wrong, you can fall off too. Remember, he does barrel rolls. He rolled too many people on one side. He rolls to the left to try to shift his weight. So I mean, it's different things, I guess, when it comes to comparison of raids, certain things and how they are.
I also think that Kata was where we started to step away from storyline being the reason we went into dungeons and just started going into dungeons to do dungeons. It becomes a lot more prevalent in a later expansion, and I'm just, but
So, funny enough, I'm just looking this up real quick. There's so many different versions of Deathwing's character. It ranges from 100 meters tall to up to 1,400 meters tall, depending on what we're seeing it as. So, yeah, he was definitely all over the place for proportions. But I
Mhm.
honestly think in Stormwind it was a scale, because his head is supposed to be larger than the end time corpse on the tower in Dragonflight,
Yes,
which is crazy, by the way. So,
he does.
All
so I
right.
think it was a
Right
scale,
there, isn't he?
but I can't confirm that
wouldn't
because
he? He's
I don't know why
better than
Google's
I am.
failing me today.
And another thing I'll point out, I would have liked to see like them continue on. Like we killed Deathwing out in the open. He wasn't like we killed him in a dungeon. We killed him out in the open. I would like to have seen like Deathwing's corpse sitting somewhere in
Well, it's in
later
the
expansions.
It's in the
It's-
maelstrom.
it's
So
the
that's where it's
Maelstrom.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the
I know,
maelstrom.
but you can't tell me in any medieval movie you've ever watched, even nowadays, when they like back when they were doing whaling and stuff like that, they would bring these things in. They'll bring chunks of it back and stuff like that. I would have liked to have seen that part of the story happen.
I don't think they had anything they could go down there and get him. They could pull him up.
You kidnapper.
Oh man, they
I
could make portals and cut chunks off. Nah, they could do something. It's a world of magic.
It would have
It
been
would
cool
have been
if
quite
we
the
did.
cleanup.
It would have been cool if we fought him like in one of the old zones of WoW, and like his skeleton was still there to this day. That would be kind of cool. Like having a zone just based off of
You
Deathwing's
almost left me
bones.
behind.
You
I
mean
would
kind of
enjoy
like the
that.
dragon corpse in Northrend?
Yeah, exactly. Just do
No,
that.
I'm just
but-
saying. I mean, that we even revisit in a later expansion. I'm just saying.
Whoa, spoilers, man.
All
right, so-
back on track.
Next one is Mists. Who
Wow.
wants to go first?
I'll go if no
Okay.
one wants to go. Okay, so Mop was the first expansion I forgot came out. So I went to college, and like a month later I was like, oh, I wonder when a new expansion will come out for WoW. And sure enough, Mob was out for like a month, and I was like, oh, whoopsie doopsie. So I actually did no PvE inside this expansion. I only PvP'd. So my rating for Mop is going to be B tier, because again, I came in here and I was like, okay, I've never really done PvP, but I heard some good things about PvP. And I was at that point, I was in Unholy Death Knight. I switched to Unholy Death Knight at the time. And I was going in and having a good time. And I only PvP'd, like just nothing else. And I really don't have much to say about this expansion. Like this was probably, I went really crazy in Cataclysm, but then I really kind of stepped down in Mob just to do PvP. I was freshman year of college at the time, just kind of trying to be more social. But I actually put, this is probably the, compared to like, if I exclude Shadowlands, this is probably one of the expansions I didn't play as much. I probably at least played expansion at this point. So I really have no big memories inside this expansion other than the farm that you could do farming at, which I think was cool. I don't know why I would just go and randomly farm and then PvP. Like I would be queued for PvP battlegrounds and I would just be farming. Like two opposite activities, right? Killing people and farming. I would just be switching between the two.
You know
That
what?
was
Um,
I
hilarious.
stole your land.
The DK's PvP set of that expansion was probably the funniest expansion set I've ever seen in my life. The unicorn one. You probably know that one, Necro. It was just a straight up horn on the thing. I think it was the coolest thing ever. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just B for me because again, it wasn't too crazy for me. I enjoyed PvP. This was the only expansion. This is the first and last expansion I've touched PvP in. I actually never touched PvP
I
since.
sound like a toddler saying I peed.
So there, I'm a PvE frog, by the way. Smile.
So I'll go next. I will concur with a B on Mist because I really didn't play it. I leveled to the max level, but I was still kind of like not feeling the game anymore at that time since Kata. So I just kind of played it, maxed out, and didn't do any raiding. The zones were cool, but not so much so that I was like, oh, I really got to dig through these zones. I think I actually dug through the zones more when I went later on for the archaeology stuff than I did when the expansion was actually like live, like fresh. So not one of my favorites, but not one of the worst. So I just gave it a B.
Also, side note, the in music for Miss Pandaria with the kazoo, S tier music as well. I don't know if you have ever heard it, but if you go into an in and Miss Mop, the kazoo is just, it hits different. You could be like so depressed, like you could have the worst day of your life, go in there and you'll be happy. You can't be sad listening to that music. Anyways.
So
mustache.
for me, it's an A tier.
Okay.
Mist did something that everybody wanted them to do. Ever since Warcraft 3, when they first introduced Brewmasters. They gave it to you. They gave you what you wanted. They gave you, they gave you the monk class that everybody wanted, and they made it cool. They made it fun. They made it, not too hard, not too easy. They made it just right. The level of play style that you need to actually play the class and have fun playing the class. I don't like the fact that they can, wear they wear leather, but they still are my two-handed They still are my two-handed weapons. I don't like that. I hate that.
That's kind of weird, yeah.
You take all my two-hand survival weapons. I don't like that. That's a problem. We'll discuss that later. But the architecture, when you look at how they built, I mean, just even from the beginning, the leveling Turtle Island, when you did that, that was just something so different. You didn't even see that coming. And it was great because everybody, when they first, oh, this is Pandaria, then you realize, oh, we're just on the back of a giant turtle. That was when that whole scene opened up and you realized that's what it was. It just did something. It was like, oh, wow, it's a whole new land. It's all of this.
My character over
and
here
then the content that they gave you, I wish they would bring back. I need challenge modes back. I'm not
I
going
want
to tell
scenarios back.
Yes, and they had all the, and you get a scenario here and a scenario there while you're playing, but it was nothing like having those scenarios then. That's why when they did the Pandaria remix and they had the scenarios, oh, it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It was
remix was great.
Yeah, so it's like Mist did everything for me from the cultural standpoint of it being, pandas being Japan's national animal, and putting it in the forefront, but they did it in a way where they didn't try to, do too much with it. You did have other races floating around, the Sarok and, the Mantids. Oh God, forgot about them. That raid, the Mantid raid was great. I'm not going to tell any story. That was one of my favorite raids. But and this is where we got into with, zone stories. You had a story that encompassed the whole zone without the main villain even being there. Until you got toward the end where you got the Kung Lao Summit and the Dread Wastes and so forth. But you had zones where you didn't know who the main villain was at the time. You didn't know anything about it, and that's made it more exciting because I wasn't stuck with seeing Arthas in my face every time I'm in a
I'm
zone.
missing 4, 5, and 6. Okay.
Yeah, I said it.
Well,
But you
I
know,
just see it seems like you like you just like an enemy that's like in the shadows lurking, right? Instead of like in your face about it. It
at
seems, you know.
times, at certain times, I mean,
Yeah.
at certain times it's necessary, but then at certain times it's not. Like if I start the story like I'm the big bad, and I'm good with that, and then he's
Yep.
gone, and you might not see
Yeah.
him for
All of
Gotcha.
a
my
whole nother
now
zone, or you know, you go 2-3 zones, and all of a sudden you hear stories about this happening and this happening, and you know who's doing it, but you don't
Mhm.
see them.
Yeah.
Whereas now you don't have, you know, that whole story of in the Jade Forest, how you had so many different story beats
Oh yeah.
about smaller
You're
enemies, you
listening to
know,
that
Mhm.
one.
smaller bosses, the Jade Witch, the war at the shrine,
Watch this.
the Jinwoo war with the
Don't
Hosen.
worry, we're
You
not
had
listening
different
to girls.
things going on in every zone, which made it felt like okay,
She's coming.
each zone had its own story,
She
Yeah.
better be.
and I think that was wonderful.
Look
So
in
for
the top
me,
right
that's where
corner.
that's what
Tell me
puts
how
it,
long
you
this
know, at an
taking.
A tier for me.
Kid, why am I so nervous about your opinion on the Shadowlands expansion?
Watch.
I'm so worried.
Hmm.
I'm so worried about it. I don't know why. It's driving me crazy. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
All right,
Okay.
Siege, you're up.
I actually gave Mop a B.
Ooh.
I was actually the same. Me and Optimize actually talked about this before, where we actually just PvP'd heavy. So I don't really have any kind of like. I did do what was
That's
it?
all we were.
It
I was gonna
was
just play around.
Throne of Thunder King was
Oh
first, right?
yes, yes. No, that was last. That
Throne of
was
Thunder,
Throne of Thunder was
or was it
before Siege.
Siege?
Siege was the last one.
Siege was the
Yeah.
last. So like, Throne of Thunder was. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was super. But the daily quest grind for somebody that just doesn't like quests in general was
Oh my god.
stupid. Couldn't even do heroics and stuff like well, you could, but you couldn't buy any of the gear until you had the rep. So it was like, I don't know, man. Like it's just, I
It was
really didn't like that grind,
I did. I sent her one.
like rep
and I just
grind on top
redid
of
it
rep
again.
Hey, abdomen.
grind. Oh man.
Also, side note though, no one has put
It looks really
a
great
D
with
tier
the
yet.
outfit, though.
We're missing one S tier and 4
Sherry
D
dead?
tiers currently. So we are entering the territory where the D tier might be filled up rapidly.
All right, so next up is Warlords of Draenei. Who wants to start this one out?
I mean, I
You
will
said
because it's a
Drano.
pretty easy one for
Whatever.
me, man. Like Warlords of Draenor is a D for me.
There it is, the first one.
First one, it was Garrison's, man. Sorry, you earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it. It felt wasted. It felt scattered. There was really no. I didn't feel like there was any direction outside.
Yours is like it's frozen on
Doug area.
mine.
Hellfire Citadel was kind of cool.
Why am I down?
I'll give it that, but
You're so mean.
wasn't a fan of overall all of it. Like that was really
I hope you get
that
really
was the saving
hungry,
grace to that entire expansion was Hellfire Citadel. In my
because
opinion, and
if
it wasn't.
I get hungry first,
Mhm.
you're going down.
The first D tier has hit.
All right. Well, I'll go next. I personally put this at a C.
Okay.
Didn't like Garrison's. Not at all. It majorly felt disconnected from like the social aspect of WoW. It was another weird zone storyline, and I don't know. I just wasn't back into playing at that point. It's another expansion. I came in and I played for a little while, and I actually stayed around a little bit longer. I tried to get involved and I tried to get doing raids, but Garrison's just had too much pull on things, and I just didn't want to spend the time working on mine. So I gave up on it.
Gee dang.
I said I wasn't.
All right. I'll go next. So,
Hmm.
Warlords of Draenor is a B for
I am
me.
not your fibber.
So we're going up the list, right? So I
Here, come here.
I
You
I
guys
like.
are off your rock.
Kiss. I'm gonna put this kiss in your
I'll explain
It's
why.
just you guys are completely just
I
dissociating. Like I don't know
will.
what's happening.
I'll explain why, right? Because one, the concept of garrisons was cool, and I think it was one of the reasons we eventually got class halls in Legion. Okay, but they were antisocial and very much, and they are definitely a net. They're very much a negative to the game.
Me.
But I want to say this: the Iron Horde is probably one of the coolest enemies we ever got in World of Warcraft history, because it was probably the closest we've ever gotten to an actual crazy, like unmovable force, right? And also too, they had trains. I love trains, guys. Okay, and they had trains. Okay, they had that one dungeon where you're on a train.
Oh, I hate that dungeon.
Me?
I hate that
No,
dungeon.
I love that. I love that dungeon. I mean, sure, the second boss, the wind one, I don't like, but
because nobody knows how to do it.
Yeah,
They know. I've never been on a group that they know how to do that boss.
That train was the coolest thing that ever happened to me. I remember getting on that train for the first time and losing my mind. I'm like, I'm on a train in World of Warcraft. I'm okay. And but again, they added trains to World of Warcraft, so trains are now canon. Okay, and
are you better?
Calm down, Sheldon.
The Iron Horde.
Trains are canon. What a.
But no, I mean, the Iron Horde is, I think, really cool. Garrosh did nothing wrong. And I think it was a very much justified crash out from him. And but in full honesty though, I think the Iron Horde is like a really cool enemy that we fought. They were so militarized. They had all these warships. It almost kind of like advanced the technology of the Warcraft universe by a lot, actually. I mean, the things that they had was crazy. I mean, if you minus the advancements we saw in BFA with Azerite bombs and stuff like that, but it was pretty crazy what the Iron Horde was able to do. I would have loved to see them invade Azeroth more, right, in that pre-patch there, but whatever. But yeah, that's why it's a B tier for me, because yeah, Garrison's stinky. It did cost us a raid tier, but I wasn't heavily into raiding at that moment, and I just loved the. Also, it was really cool to see Outland before I got outlanded. I guess that's the term I'm gonna use. Yeah. So it was cool to see the spires of a rock, right? Obviously, that got just totally destroyed. And it was just cool to see like some of the cool areas from before and after, right? That you could piece together. Again, I'm a very much any expansion that has a zone before and after. I'm a big fan of, because I love seeing the progression of zones. I love seeing the almost like the degression of zones too. So that's why it's a B tier for me. We also lost Necro's camera.
I can't tell you how wonderful that sounds.
Anyway,
so for me,
lose Negro's camera.
Yeah,
now we're all the beep boop with the boop beeps.
Oh wow, I'm the only person here now. That's right. That's crazy.
I know.
Abdomen needs the astronaut outfit.
So for me, I guess when he comes back or he's got his camera on, it would be a C, personally.
Okay.
Did you?
And
you.
It's just the way. The only for me, I'm the opposite of a lot of y'all. I think garrisons are there for a reason, because garrisons were a testing ground for, like you said, the class hall, but it's also a testing ground for housing. If you really think about it.
Oh no.
If the way they're setting housing up to be is going to be a little bit of mixture of the plots, size of the plots. That was the first thing that they mentioned, that there are going to be different size plots for your houses. So I look at it as though garrisons were a mean to an end, because I think that's how they started testing the waters for housing.
So where did you rate it? I missed it. I'm sorry. C. Okay.
Let's see. So I look at it that way. Now, Siege is right. He's right about one thing this time for sure. Hellfire
This
Citadel
time.
was awesome. I will give him that one. Hellfire Citadel was chef's kiss. I'm not gonna lie.
Show of him. Get off
You
of
had
me.
so many
Okay,
different
this is
bosses,
not
so
going
many different
well.
mechanics. It was just outright.
I'm trying to
I
get
mean, the best dungeon probably is the docks before you get to the train, maybe.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I like the docks too. The docks
There's
are
also
pretty
a
cool.
train in there too, so that passes
Am I?
the vibe check.
Train.
Yeah, train. But yeah,
Do
I
all
mean,
the
I don't have a
comments
lot
down
of
here,
bad
sir.
to
Come
say.
get
I
your
just feel
lollies,
like,
get your thick mints.
and then
Energy drinks don't
the
need.
PvP battleground that was great. Asheran was great,
Electric thick mints
even though
are
people didn't do it right. Asheran was great. It got to the point where it was
don't fit
just
into canon.
okay. The first person that could run past everybody and kill the boss wins. And you had a minor skirmish in between there, but other than that, I don't have any bad things to say. I don't have any good things to say. I'm just kind of in the middle on Drano.
Oh look, I found Kiss.
Okay. Very fair options, you know. We finally
All
have a
right.
D tier.
All right. So we're gonna move into Legion next, and I'm gonna start this one off because I'm gonna be controversial with it.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I know what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing.
Legion is a C for me. If I
Like,
didn't already have my D tier picked, Legion would be there.
Slay.
So for me, Legion is way overhyped. Absolutely way overhyped. Yes, it's the birthplace of Mythic Plus. Good. I like Mythic Plus. But Legion itself just wasn't there for me. Especially because it brought in the Demon Hunter class that they cannot ever bring below like being S or A tier for anything because everybody whines and complains about it. And I just don't think that Demon Hunters are that good, personally.
You hear that, Demon Hunters? You're on notice.
Just saying. It was okay. The zones looked nice. It just didn't draw me back in. It just all the hype that was around it, I really tried to like it. But, you know, you had the artifact weapon, which was a pain in the butt to get, you know, done.
The level, yeah.
And class halls were cool. But I could take or leave them. It wasn't like, oh, I absolutely have to have the class hall. It's so amazing. It was okay. So that's my take.
Fair
This
enough.
guy's controversial.
Who wants to go next?
But you know what? I'm actually kind of with Necro on this. I can legitly say Legion was my least favorite.
Wait, you put it
So
as a D tier?
No, I didn't say
Oh,
D.
okay. Oh, okay.
He didn't say it's here yet.
I was worried.
No, here's the thing. For me, and I'll put this out there, so there is no D tier in this list for me. C is as low as I will go with anything.
That's controversial to say that they're still Oh, that's actually. Whoa, wait. Okay, you know what? No, it's fine. We'll hear it later.
And I'm
Okay,
just being 100. So for me, Legion is a C.
Okay.
It was just it's just as he said, leveling up your artifact weapon.
Well, I'm sorry, I can only
and then trying to figure out which artifact pieces to go with it because you had so many different types that you had to use, leveling up your class hall, and then doing the missions with your minions, and it was just picking a champion to go out you and quest in certain places. It was a lot going on, and I think the only saving grace for me, the reason why I can't go lower than a C for anything, the raids actually saved Legion. They really did.
I mean, yes, you came back
because Argus raid was phenomenal.
Right.
The Nightborn raid, it was that's kind of my least favorite because it just didn't. Yeah, for me, that's the best way I can put it.
With you on my back
I actually like the one Xavier's dungeon better than I like that one.
We're
Oh
not gonna
yeah.
talk about this being.
Yeah, I enjoyed that
We're not
one.
gonna.
You know, I got to fight dragons. I got to fight 4 of them at one time,
Well,
which is fun. So
or
I
3.
mean, so
I mean,
it's a see
I've
that,
already
that
left
You
again
do
the
that in
raid
Wrath.
can't really beat me right now.
we don't yeah we fought dragons all day in
Dying.
Wrath. That's why Wrath is where it's at, because there were dragons. But no, for real, I just
Side note,
that was
where's
the
Christy?
lowest point for me was that one expansion. So
Hello, Coquette.
All right, who's gonna contradict us?
I'm
Steve,
not
do you
going
want
to
to go?
contradict you. Yeah, I'm not going to contradict you too heavy. I have it as a.
You have it as a B?
I have it as a B.
I mean,
It's
everybody's entitled to be wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I
Everybody's entitled to be wrong.
like I did like the raids. Like I think that was probably the saving grace for me. But it was the artifacts. I just really didn't like it at all. And specs were super dependent on those artifacts, right? Like
Yes.
you had to like gear and tune yourself to that artifact, and it was very,
Mhm.
very fine tuning, and I don't like that at all.
Max
Like
min max.
imagine if
I'm not
imagine if we
saying-
had to do that with our Reshi
I'm
wraps,
not
with
saying
our
you're
delve
Who
belt
the-
and stuff. We had to change our specs to better reflect it. I mean, like I guess kind of to the melee healers. That's I guess kind of the
sis,
case.
I don't even see the beard joint
But
anymore.
anyways,
I don't
like
know
I
what's going
digress.
on.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. Nowhere near enough to put it up
I
near
have
my S's
great
and A's.
friends.
You know what I mean? But I don't think
Oh,
it's as
hey,
bad as my C and my D. So I think
but
Right.
All right.
no.
Well, Legion for me
Came over with sass
is
is
also C tier. I think this is, again, like Decker,
Like,
you
I
said,
can
a
go
very
in. You can
overhyped
join my
expansion.
screen.
It introduced a
Oh,
system
no,
I don't
we
really
going back.
particularly
We going
enjoy. I think Mythic Plus, again, I said that
Yeah,
Legion was like a
Pippin says he
turning
wants
point
to
in
go
WoW
gaming too.
culture. And what Mythic's brought to
You want
WoW
Bingo?
is something I never
I will
wanted to
accept.
be, is like the competitive the sense of like a timer. I think timers are the laziest game design element you can ever do,
My
because it
legs
just
are
creates this
shaking.
artificial
Shimmy, shimmy,
impending
shake.
doom that
'Cause
then
what? Oh,
creates
I forgot about
toxicity.
that.
When people
Oh,
are pressed with
yeah.
time and have to, also depend on
Remember
people's
Sass's
skill to help
way?
you complete
We
that
are
timer,
getting up
it
right
com-
there. So I gotta figure this
it
out.
creates a environment of toxicity that I think has gone rampant throughout the Mythic community, and has now gone to the point where they had to add in that new system they just added in, where they mark levers. So I think, again, the Mythic system is a tragic
What's up,
system that has unfortunately become mainstream. I will always die on that hill for sure. But the Legion artifacts introduced borrowed power that plagued our
Oh no, that was bad.
our
Bad,
wonderful game
oh,
for
we're
like
going down
3 or
for
4
real.
expansions.
Oh no!
Class holes
Oh
were good. I
no!
love that.
Oh, that was so scary.
The I mean, I think Solmar was kind of boring. I think any of the end game systems were kind of boring. That whole major city was kind of whack.
Do you
Again,
have a med
it
kit,
never really
Christy?
hit. I think the funnest thing about Legion was High Mountain. I think the High Mountain zone was the coolest zone I've seen in a while.
Mhm.
Since Grizzly Hills, right? But I mean, again, I just think it was overhyped, and I know a lot of people like there's a thing called Legion babies, right? I call a lot of people Legion babies. It's like, oh, you started playing a Legion, you're a Mythic Plus enjoyer. Like, okay, you're a Legion baby, because I don't know.
Hold your tongue,
I'm a
lass.
raider at heart, and when people, you can outgear
Oh,
people
look,
who
this is
raid
the way.
with
You do
Mythic
that.
Plus, and I've always resented that. So I might be biased because, you know, that's when it started splitting the community into Mythic versus raiding.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it created
Don't
that
get me wrong.
environment.
I enjoy a good Mythic Plus. I do. I really do. But I think Mythic Plus should have always ever been able to gear you for raid,
Mhm.
and raid gear should always just be better.
Thank you. Yeah, it should be the system should be delves get you up to mythic, mythic gets you up to rating, rating is top tier. But you know, we all have to. Eventually, they'll probably make delves be as equal as I don't maybe not, but you know they want it to be an in-game system, and all in-game systems are considered to be equal, even though you can clearly say Mythic Plus is so much easier to do things because it's easier to do a Mythic 10 than a Mythic boss in a raid, and you can't
True.
argue. I don't think you
But
could
you
argue with
can
that.
also spam more than one run in a week. You can't spam a mythic boss over and over again.
Yeah. Also, guys, if you're not the
'cause
meta
I
spec
wouldn't pick that.
after plus 10s, good luck getting a key as a DPS. By the way,
Mhm.
I'm an arms warrior. I can't get anywhere. It's
Yeah.
I literally.
I'll
I'm
I'll
sitting here
take
for
you
an
to a
hour.
key. I will take you to a
Thank you.
key.
It just if you're not meta, man, and like
Then
I could
again, I'm
rant
not
for
a meta
hours on how
tank, so
But tanks, I've seen people just. Tank's a tank, though. You know what I mean? Like, if
you
you're
would
sitting in
think
queue
so.
but it's compared to a DPS, though, right? There's levels of waiting, right? There's a tank waiting that's not meta to a DPS not meta waiting, right? It's just
Oh yeah,
especially
you definitely
and I
wait
don't have
way longer.
and I don't have lust. I'm not meta and I don't have lust. I'm on the bench and I'm just absolutely I'm watching from the bench. Like I'm in that hotel chair right now.
All
Anyway,
right,
sorry.
so we're down to our last 4 expansions.
Mhm.
Who wants to start with BFA?
BFA. I mean, I'll start.
Gonna pick her up.
Okay.
Oh yeah. BFA. I will give this
The
expansion
river.
a B tier.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I loved Island Expeditions, controversial point, I guess. I think Azurite was a good Azurite was a good no sorry, it was Borrowed Power. I think it was a better system than
Sure.
Legion. Right? It was a resource that you could like mine and stuff. It was pretty cool. Obviously, it was pretty much the same thing though, so it was a very negative point. I think I loved Island Expeditions. I wish there was more variety to it. But it was pretty cool to go to these islands and do the objectives. Again, more variety would have been better for sure. Um, but the reason why it's a B tier for me is I am old school. I am very old school when it comes to I'm an alliance. I don't like the horde. I believe that
Ugh.
I believe that the
Want me to help you out with
factions
that?
disliking each other or even hating each other is good for the game. And that's why I'm so hyped about Midnight kind of bringing that back because again, remember in Silver Moon right now, there's a section where
I'm
only
so
Horde can
sad.
go and a lot of the Alliance players are getting angry about that. And there's a lot of Horde tension and Alliance tension already,
Oh no.
which I believe is Chris Metzen kind of, you know, coming back into play here, right? But because he's a big fan of that as well. But again,
Oh, good
I
gracious.
love the
Just
faction,
fuck,
you know,
fuck,
and that expansion when it was first announced was the kind of the peak of Horde versus Alliance tensions, and I loved
Yeah,
every
that's not
second
the
of
way
it
to
up
go
until
either.
they turned that expansion into what it was, and what it was like. Oh, we're enemies, and the big bads come. Let's go hold hands and shoot the friendship laser at N'Zoth. Um, and it annoys me because I'm like, um, I again, I just love Horde versus Alliance stuff. I think as an Alliance player, the Eastern Kingdom belongs to us. And maybe you guys, the Horde should go away. I'll bring it back. I'll bring back the Horde Alliance tensions. I love that stuff, man. Um, I love role playing that, but I now by the way, N'Zoth 8.3
A for
was
effort.
the only tier that I ever did mythic rating in, and I
Surely,
had a
yeah, sure.
blast. That's when
You
I
got this.
chugged that bottle of ranch because we killed that dog boss Shaladar, and it was so stressful at the time. But when I
think it
look
must be
back at it,
my
it was my
outfit.
fondest memory of like pushing the content that I've never pushed. I think we got 4 out of how many bosses were Nilotha? Was it 8 or
I think it was
10?
I
9.
think it was 8, 9. It was either 8 or 9.
So like
Yeah.
we were 4 out of 9. We finished 4 out of 9, which was really good for us. And we never did it again because that obviously after BFA
That's fair.
something happened. We
Yeah.
all know
Okay.
what happened.
Okay. So I will pick up on one of the things that you said.
Mhm.
The Alliance versus Horde tensions. I
Yeah.
don't know if we're ever gonna get 100% back to that because
No, I
of how
know.
we have cross faction guilds
I
and we
know.
have cross faction like parties and stuff like that.
I would like to
But
argue though. I'll let you finish.
but
Though.
I would really like them to take a note from EverQuest's book. Okay, in EverQuest, you could play whatever character you wanted. And if you wanted to go and say you were playing an evil character and you wanted to switch sides, you could actually go and farm rep with that side. You would lose reputation with the other side, but you could work your way into being in the good graces of the other faction. And I think that would be really cool.
They did that already.
Not with the main faction though.
Well, not Horde Alliance, but they did that before.
Right, but I'm saying do it with
there's
Horde
been
and
a lot,
Alliance. Do it with Horde and
Few things that-
Alliance.
That's pushing it.
But
Just
That's pushing
saying.
it, Pablo.
Just saying.
By the way, though, with when you mentioned that the cross realm stuff, that is just for gameplay optimization to get everyone interconnected. Like for
Oh, is
example,
she?
like when we like mage portals
I'm
inside
so
of WoW,
confused.
like to get to teleport us to main hubs and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
thought she
that.
was that.
Those are easily accessible. But in the lore
Y'all are
of
confused.
World of Warcraft, creating portals that are
I love
that
watching you
are
guys wake up
sustained
face
over
first
periods
and
of
sing.
time
It's
is the
hilarious.
hardest thing a mage could probably do, right? To actually maintain those
It's a
portals.
kitten.
So it's just more of a gameplay mechanic than versus
Here.
the lore. So I think
I
in lore
think-
we're
oh,
still kind of
I didn't put it on a scent
at
for.
our like we obviously are still distanced, but I think for gameplay reasons we're connected
No.
because it has to be
Yes.
that way.
No.
Okay. Well, I will put BFA at a B tier. And the only reason I put BFA at a B tier is because BFA was the first expansion. I didn't come back and level at the beginning. But it is also the expansion I came back to playing WoW. So it earns itself a B tier just for that for me. But other than that, there was a lot of negatives I felt with BFA. I don't like the Azerite borrowed power. I've never been a big fan of that borrowed power structure. I think that some of the things were really cool. Don't get me wrong. I loved playing my Prot Warrior with triple Twilight Devastations and, being the tank and top DPS, I loved it. But I really think it broke game balance. It just wasn't,
Yeah.
That's my take.
That's fair. I put Battle of Azeroth at A as an
Okay.
A tier.
Ooh, Slay King. I like that.
And the reason for that is just that, again, I am a big person on setting and character designs and all of the above. You can't tell me that Blizzard didn't really sneak a horror story into this game when they created Dressfar.
What the heck was that about, man?
It was scary. It was I wouldn't say scary in that sense. I'm a grown ass man, pardon my language, but it's I'm grown. It
was
wasn't
spooky.
scary, but
That
I'm
quest
a
line,
grown man. I
exactly.
speak with my chest, but
that quest line with Jaina's mother was terrifying. By the way,
It's wild. The whole dungeon that was a haunted house. Let's be clear. Treehouse of Horrors online right there for you. No matter how you look at it, that's what it was. It was like, hey, we're finna go into this haunted house. Say what? Come again? Haunted house. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I think
Okay.
Dressfar was like their like what they wanted to do with the original Dustwood. You know what I mean?
I
could've
agree.
been.
love dust.
I mean, you look at the troll aesthetic when you got the Zandalari. It was just Mayan statues and everything like that. It was just so. It was beautiful but deadly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The Kotarans reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm gonna just say it like that.
If Pirates of the Caribbean had dad bods.
Hey, it's okay though.
Yeah, they ate too much rum.
It's okay though. You can't.
Right?
Where's the rum? I mean, I'm just saying that everybody knew where the rum was.
Right.
But the biggest thing about BFA is the cinematics. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
The opening
Man, that
cinematic
cinematic was so hopeful. Man, that
when
was so
when Jaina came in and just when the Ghost Galleon again, Ghost, and just laid siege to whatchamacallit. It was crazy. It was
Mhm.
like, hey, where did this ghost ship come from?
No.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I've been gone for a while. Look at my hair. It's white and yellow now. You know,
I don't even know what to call it.
surprise, surprise. Again, that's why I say that type of stuff means something to me. Now, granted, we all hate it
Ah,
as
siesta,
right. Let's be
yeehaw.
clear, we hated
You know,
it. We
it
all
was
hated it.
funny. Was it? It
We hated
wasn't.
Azerite power. Like it was a bad hair day. It was bad. It was bad.
And I had already
But
had the cow.
Naya Lofa was wonderful. Who wants to play soccer? Let's be clear. Who wants to play
yeah.
soccer?
Like I was riding.
Oh, you just gave me the biggest Vietnam flashback to missing those freaking balls, man.
Oh
It
man.
was. I mean, they had so many different things in Naya Lofa that made Naya Lofa just special.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I mean, even the one that you had to drain its mana in order to actually do damage to it. That you had to make it cast spells. You had to make it do things. I was like, okay, I love it.
Yeah,
And
boss
then
design in there was peak.
There's a pitten.
yeah, it was great. The Dazzler was, I don't know what to say about that raid. That raid was Jaina, a villain. Technically, if you want to
Yeah.
look at it that way, was great. And the coolest thing I'll never forget about that fight, before anybody knew how it worked, oh, soon as she lands, go ahead and lush. No, countered ice block. Wait a minute, she can do that?
No, I don't know.
Now
Why
you
do
just
you
wasted
say
your lust at the start of a fight.
No.
It forced you to change your tactics.
Mhm.
I mean,
We know rowboat. I don't.
it had good boss fights. All the raids were good. Uldir was kind of but that was your starter dungeon, so I guess it's your starter raid, so I guess it was okay. But even then, that had good fights. The mother fight was kind of cool. You know, so there was different things about it. I wish they would.
Process.
Yeah, I wish that they could have fleshed out islands and warfronts a little bit more, and I think I would have been okay.
That
Oh,
would have been way
Warfronts
better.
even too.
Yeah, those would have been
Yeah.
great.
Those would have been great. So that's my take. I'm done.
Yeah, great takes.
I would like to add real quick. You're talking about Dressfall and the spooky thing. There is that new spooky game mode that they're coming out with that I'm actually kind of looking forward to.
They
Yeah.
say it's gonna be like a lot. There's a lot of rumors that it's gonna be like an Among Us clone, which I'm down for.
I
Or
wouldn't
maybe
really
like,
call Among Us spooky, but whatever.
Well, no, it's more of like also the other one too of what is it, the werewolf game where you have to find the werewolf and the sheriff and I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. All right,
Whatever.
Siege, what do you think about BFA?
BFA. I put it as a C.
You put it as a C?
I put it as a C. The cinematic had me incredibly hopeful that this was just going to be Alliance versus Horde, like full out warfare, back to the old stuff. It's kind of what I thought was going to happen.
The bait and
And
switch.
it just wasn't. The cinematic was fire. That when she screamed out for the Horde and stuff, it was game over for me. I was like, well, there's me coming back. But I didn't stay. I didn't stay long enough to even raid in BFA. It didn't grab me at all. I was super busy with work too. I was in school at the same time, so this is where I started to fall off a little bit, right? So my knowledge gets a little fuzzy from here until war.
Okay.
The fuzziness.
All right.
Right, so it's not fair for me to give anything a D if I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? So that's why WAD was like a.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's time for me to throw a D up on the board.
Let's go where it deserves to be.
Shadowlands was probably the most hot garbage expansion that I have ever played in World of Warcraft. Like, I can honestly play that expansion and think, man, the storytellers and the game designers were not even on the same page throughout this expansion.
Mhm.
It was so disjointed. There was so much more potential with the jailer storyline. There was so much more potential with all of the storylines, including the simple fact that they had this epic game launch trailer. And
Oh, it was
that's
the coolest one.
probably where the epicness ended,
Mhm. Yeah.
was with that
That was
trailer.
probably that like no cap. That was probably the best trailer they ever put out. And then what came after it was like just absolute doo
Oh
doo.
my stars.
Yeah, I just like if Shadowlands could be wiped from existence, which I know it can't because it brought in some canon and some lore and some things that we're still dealing with. But if it could, I'd be 100% for that. This was
All
a
in favor
figment
of
of y'all's imagination. I would be 100% okay with that.
Okay. Necro has spoken. I'll go next.
I can already tell Kid has got something to say. So go ahead, Unoptimized.
I am also going to give my D tier to Shadowlands. Obviously the opening cinematic was probably an S tier cinematic, right? But when it comes to Shadowlands,
And a balloon too.
I don't like I enjoy expansions that are on Azeroth, right? And again, Shadowlands was not.
Yeah, always.
And Shadowlands did get something right where they stopped the borrowed power system. Sure, right? They said, okay, no more. It's bad.
Kind
but
of.
then- yeah. And then they went with we got the covenants, right? They gave us a good system there. I'm trying
Sorry, I
to
have
give it some
no-
benefit of the doubt, okay? But when it came to the
What
storyline,
is it? What game?
it
What is
it
that?
I think it was a big betrayal.
What is it?
I like Sylvanas,
I want to
okay?
know.
And I understand what she was doing. I wish we just knew about the jailer
Is there a
before
freaking shark?
this expansion, right? Oh, he
I'll
knew
probably
everything. He
die.
planned everything since the burning, since
it
the Lich
free?
King. He was always hands on. I've never heard of
Aw,
the man.
bummer.
All right, the first ones. What the heck's that
I
about?
mean, kind of, but
I don't
I
know.
don't have the money to
And
do so,
it
so
just,
no.
this is, I think we saw the consequence of Blizzard going too into the cosmic realm of fantasy, where it was like, guys, we're at we're at Zero Mordith, we're at the beginning of the first ones. The jailer, he has his hands in everything. Oh, and I think one of the stupidest decisions they did was when Sylvanas betrayed the jailer, because for like, and
Oh yeah, I don't.
I don't know why they did that. She was,
Oh.
for what, 2 expansions, she was doing everything for him, getting souls to the maw, and then all of a sudden she's like, "But wait,
Since I'm up here
I'm
waiting.
sad now." And then I understand the betrayal. Like you could have played that out some more, right? Of
Okay,
like,
I'm
oh,
coming.
maybe
You're
I'm
hungry?
doing a bad thing,
Got the
and
problem?
I know that you know characters can
I don't know what.
realize that they're
I
doing
don't.
something bad after so long, but
You know what?
why did she try to shoot the jailer with an arrow, knowing that he
All
was
right,
all
go ahead and
powerful
die.
and just would block it immediately? Wouldn't she act like she was still allies with him and try to
You'll come
backstab
back
him
hungry
later?
too.
It was just such a stupid story decision,
Are you dead?
and I think the writers took the biggest L there. And they
He said
disrespected
I'm working
the
on it.
jailer, they disrespected Sylvanas there, they disrespected the players. And that was the
I don't see
longest
your
I
ghosty.
ever stopped playing WoW. It was 6 months. I didn't play
Where you
WoW
at?
for 6
Where you
months. I stopped. And
Oh,
I actually quit my sub too. I didn't give them any ounce of money
it's
for
on
that.
me. Get off.
There's my rage.
There. How hungry are you?
Rage,
Go
rage.
eat this food.
All right. Who wants to go next, Kid or Siege?
I mean, I'm gonna go because I feel like I've just got something to say about this, but I'm just gonna be honest and give it a C.
Oh,
I don't have
yeah,
much to
he's
say
gotta
about
get
it.
one
I
of
don't have any
us.
direct gameplay on it. I've heard horror
He's
stories
gotta
about
get
it
the
directly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
when
like,
he's done being
it's
a
kind of
nasty
got a stigma
animal,
on it for being D
then he is
potential,
allowed
just
to
from all the
eat
horror
whatever
stories that you hear,
foods
the
he wants.
memes you see,
In
all
the
that kind of stuff.
meantime,
But
it's on me.
yeah, I don't.
Where's the second bag?
Yeah, I don't have
What about the
anything
second?
else
Nobody
to
took
say
the beef?
really about it. I even tried to Google some
Oh!
good qualities about it, and it was
Okay,
just like
well,
the
then
Chromie
I have
time
that
thing was
back.
introduced, and I was like, well, that's kind of. So it was
Can
like,
you
I don't know.
stop running away?
I can't find a
Would
lot
you
of
be
redeeming
dead?
qualities. I didn't.
You're being a problem child.
All right, kid. This is your moment.
Yeah.
What are you about to hit us with? What are you about to
This
hit us
I
with?
did.
this is my A tier game.
Oh, no way.
Ah! Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not being
Yes way.
Do you need beef,
Yes
though?
way.
You don't. You're good.
Oh my
Oh,
good
I have
golly.
one in my bag for you too.
So here's what here's where
No.
I'm probably gonna get canceled in
No.
trade chat. People are gonna hate me for
No.
saying this. But for me, Shadowlands did something that Wrath didn't do. We didn't get old villains. We didn't get rehashed villains from
Oh, I see.
Warcraft 1 and all the RTS games. We actually had a whole new layer added that no one knew anything
Okay,
about.
fine.
If you've ever seen the cosmic chart of
Really?
Warcraft, you know order, law, death. We know nothing
Your
of the
character
afterlife.
looks so
Nothing.
annoying.
Nothing at all. Nobody knew what the afterlife
Are
was.
you gonna be able
We
to get
didn't know
back to
anything.
the
We just
now?
know people died. That was it. They gave you 4
Oh, I
distinct
found
zones
Nature Tales.
based on your deeds of what you did in your life, determined where you went.
Yeah, what mountainside are you on?
You know, Ardenweald. You would think most of the druids and all of the people hunters would go there, when in actuality you probably didn't. You had Revendreth, which, you know, you think vampires, but you also think of those nobles and people of that. Bastion, angels, if you look at it that way. Maldraxxus, where most of your warriors went because that's what they did. But each zone also gave you that no zone looked alike. It was like every zone was fleshed out, even in its darkness. The dark parts of it, it was still fleshed out. Even in Revendreth, where it just seemed like it was all doom and gloom, and you had these small pockets of wildlife and everything that was there.
There's another remedy.
You know, class design.
Or is that the way you're
It did something different. You had 4 covenants in which you had semi-borrowed power, if that's what you want to call it. But a Kyrian paladin looked different from a Night Fae paladin based on your talents and your skills. You had those end caps at the end of those trees when you. Who didn't love a Brun running out there and just wailing on somebody for 5 minutes, or all the different abilities you had as a hunter? You call down, you shoot your shot, and all of a sudden you got all these starfalls falling down. You had Death's Door with Revendreth, where anybody had a teleport at this point. I could go here, I can tell, okay, boom, I can get up there just by putting my door up there.
Yeah,
they did things differently. They took a chance on doing something different by telling a different story. Now, with the story, you got to think about it. Each zone had its own fleshed out story. Did some of it have something to do with the jailer? Just a little bit, not a lot. But you knew the jailer was present. But again, he's not in the forefront. I mean, if you look at over in Ardenweald, you had basically the Winter Queen trying to deal with the fact of, you know, how her sister did this, how Elune was this and that, and people were trying to convince her of something different. You had a rebellion in Bastion. You know, Revendreth was basically the only zone that really kind of catered toward the jailer. We knew who, damn it, what's his name? Yeah, Denathrius. We knew who Denathrius worked for. Let's be clear. He didn't make no attempts to say anything different. You knew who he was working for. You knew what he was doing. But at the same time, you were working against him as well. You also had and Maldraxxus. Who knew that was who that was in the end of the. See, there were things that people they overlooked it because of what it gave, what they saw on the surface. But again, you're just looking at the surface. You're not looking at all the things that they added to this game. They dared to be different, and for some people, it paid off. For me, I was one of them. I love some of the stuff that they did in there, and I can't be mad about it. I mean, Sanctum of Domination, great raid.
All right, I'm
Payne
going
Smith
all
was
the
great.
way to the far
Painsmith
right.
was awesome.
That
That
was
was one of
craziest
that's
mechanical
what's.
fight I've ever seen in my life.
If I go up
But
and
again,
up
though,
on the
people
right side,
look at it.
I am
They look
down.
at Shadowlands as a throwaway because of everything else that
Then
happened
another,
outside of the game too, as well. A lot of people stopped
Oh,
playing
actually.
Shadowlands because of all
Oh,
the
it's a funny
scandals
question.
and all the
Mhm.
stuff that was going on in that. You know, your choices mattered in the story to a certain extent. When you picked the Covenant, you was locked into that Covenant. Yes, they came in where you could change your Covenant, and you can okay, this grade I want to be Revendreth, and you're there, or whatever the case may be. It just did things differently. It didn't give you no nostalgia feel. They gave you something new, because every expansion up until this point always relied on something from a previous expansion. If you actually look at it,
That's true. I didn't
Burning
do that.
Crusade led into Wrath. Wrath led
I'm walking
into
on my
Drain.
magic.
Wrath led into Cataclysm. Cataclysm led into Mr. Pandaria.
Unicorn
Pandaria led into
that I
Draenor. Draenor led into Legion. None of
That'll
this.
be up for you.
This just Legion led into Battle for Azeroth. The only thing that you have connecting Shadowlands to any other expansion was Sylvanas.
Yeah.
This person right here. See that? This person right here.
Yeah.
That's all you had. You didn't have no story. You didn't have anything.
Turn around.
So it's hard for people to say, "Oh, it's easy to say it's a bad expansion," because you was looking at everything else. You wasn't looking at it with the correct optics. But you couldn't tell me you did enjoy
My way.
Sepulchre of the first ones.
That was
You
actually my
couldn't.
least favorite.
The
I
raid,
did. I didn't enjoy Sepulchre the first ones at all.
I enjoyed it because of the lore aspect of it. You got to see how all the head people in all the zones were made. You saw how everything was an architect was constructed. So it's like you look at it from that point. You look at Sanctum, that was crazy. You look at Castle Nathria. Who didn't love the dance boss in Castle Nathria?
No, I mean
They-
the Castle
So,
Nathria was probably
so
the
Castle
best.
Nathria was my favorite, but the other two, I could have played them in story mode, and I'd been done with them. That would have been fine because that's all I was getting the lore out of.
Mhm.
That part, okay, I get the lore, but there was no draw to really do the rest of it. You
No,
know,
it was, for me it was because I put the story together as it went. Because I'm the guy, I did every quest in every zone, because sometimes other quests would open up if you did those quests. Some people just do the meat and potatoes quests and that's it. Sometimes you have to do those small breadcrumb quests to actually see other stuff happening. There was quests in there about the Winter Queen and how she became the way she was. There was quest in Revendreth where you found out how the Nathrias turned and started working with the jailer. Like if you didn't do the side quest where you found out that what's his name and Bastion, how they chose
So,
what soul went to the Maw and what soul went to Bastion, you didn't know that.
Mhm.
So again, we
used to
take
be,
for
but,
granted
like,
that these little
that I
breadcrumb
just
quests are
like
there,
before.
and they're there to tell to flesh out
And
the story.
then I
A lot of people get mad. They say they put a lot of the lore into the books. Well, in actuality, in
Yeah,
Shadowlands, there it was. It was in front of you. People just chose not to do it.
Semaglutide shot.
So
so
I just think at this point, Shadowlands gets a bad rep because a lot of
Magnus
people
one.
didn't play all the way through it, or they didn't care for it because of whatever other reasons they had. Because a lot of people that I know stopped playing Shadowlands because of everything that, not because they didn't like the game. Oh, they loved the game. They just didn't want to support Blizzard at the time when stuff was going on.
So
Yeah, I
I
mean, so,
played
like-
Shadowlands the entire time. I paid for it the entire time. I played through it the entire time. I rated the entire time. There was just too many loose ends for me. And I also think that yes, the covenants were borrowed power-ish, but the other thing I was talking about, we also had rune crafted armor, which was borrowed power.
But that was your legendary stuff though. You didn't have to have it because remember the drops were spare on it. There were people who didn't get a single piece until you could actually go and Zareth Mortis and start crafting it that way. There was something I didn't get my first piece of that until God knows what Torghast.
Oh,
I finished in 15s and 16s on Torghast before I even got my first one. So
Also
again, it's
Torghast, yeah.
so I mean
Yeah,
there was
Torghast was a
that's-
missed potential thing for me too. It was a good concept,
that's-
but
But that's why we have Delves, though. If you think about it, because Torghast is the same thing as Delves. It's single player content with borrowed
Yeah.
power. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Nobody.
Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but in one of the developer interviews they just had for Midnight, they said that player housing was
What?
first
you for
started
following.
development during Shadowlands.
Yeah. Oh,
By the way.
stop.
So Shadowlands is my A.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Honestly, controversial opinion, but again, I
I cannot
I
even
just-
remember.
don't know. It just it got to the
Their
point for
second
me in Shadowlands that it was really just the last season fatigue. Like that last season was too long, and that's when my last break was. Like that was like my longest break, right?
Oh, thank you.
So
Well,
it just
with most expansions though, that last tier is always that one where people will slow down playing because all their characters are at 80 or whatever the max level is. They're geared out, and there's really not nothing to do because you're sitting here waiting for I don't know. Dragonflight came out.
Yeah.
That's what you were waiting on. And that's what it was. I think that fatigue takes place in every expansion though. Because
yeah,
once
it hit me harder in
yeah.
Shadowlands than it did in other ones.
Oh,
I don't because it was a longer was a longer dev cycle for sure.
oh.
Yeah, what was it? 14 months, I think, something like that. It was just as long, I think, as Siege of Orgrimmar. I think it was right around about that amount, 14 to 16 months in between, something like that.
Yeah. So the longest end patch was actually Battle for
something to kill you,
Azeroth,
I just
273 days. And then Shadowlands was 245. Actually, so the longest one was MOP was 399. Wow.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, Siege of
Are you
Orgrimmar.
guys-
Yeah.
And the shortest one
Are you still
was
far left?
105 for for original or classic vanilla, excuse me.
Yeah.
Wow.
All
all
right,
right. So let's move on to Dragonflight.
Yes.
Jeweler?
Dragonflight for me was kind of a turn back to what I felt like WoW used to be.
Mhm.
Kind of a return to what I was expecting for WoW. So for me, Dragonflight was a B tier. I was still kind of reeling from Shadowlands because, again, it was not my favorite in any way, shape, or form. But I liked the
Yeah.
aspect of Dragonlance. I liked the coming back to Azeroth, the aspects, and it was a return to that classic WoW feel to me.
You're good. I can respect that.
Yeah.
For me, Dragonflight is my S tier.
There it is.
Yes, it is.
There
I
it
can
is.
respect that.
Yeah, I can.
There's a
I
fungus
get
behind that.
I can say one word and I don't have to say anything else.
Oh, don't die, don't die, don't
Dragons.
die, don't die. You can do it, you can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it. Dragons. I mean,
The whole expansion was about dragons, so yeah, I get you.
yeah, I'm dragons. I don't know what else to say.
I
love
still
the
want
fact
to
that
see where Ridicron comes back. I really do.
It's gonna be
I'm
the last.
finna go into my little spiel about these dragons. I didn't care about the aspects. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't care. Except for Mummy Alistraza. Hey,
Oh,
any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
Um,
Oh no!
but
no, I'm dying.
all three of them are my heroes.
Oh, I'm way far down.
Ridicron,
Oh yeah.
for Rock.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
Why is
Wow.
Starscream a dragon? That's what I want to know. Someone tell me why Starscream is a dragon.
Oh, I didn't
Do
put
you
that
not
together until
know
just
that-
now.
that made me so happy because everything he did reminded me of Starscream, and
Oh man.
a Ridicron reminded me of Megatron. Them two right there. It was Black Arachnia, Starscream, and Megatron. That's how I looked at them.
I can get
I
behind that.
looked at them that way. Just because the Ridicon was like, yeah, just let him do what he do. I'm not worried about him. We're finna go do this. Bet. That and that's how Megatron really acts. That was Megatron. And Ridicron was Megatron. No, I don't care how you look at it. That's what he was.
Mhm.
And what's her name was
Yep,
Black
actually
Arachnia.
behind
Yeah,
you.
okay, whatever. She turned at the end, just like Black Arachnia did in any other train. She did, and that's why I'm like, villains will always win with me no matter
That's
what.
not a good decision.
I will never say I hate Arthas. I just think there was Arthas bloat.
Sorry.
So
You need to
again,
go down. Nope.
I'm a Sith
If you
Lord at
go
heart,
down right in here.
but those three
You'll go this way.
are the reason why I love Dragonflight so
There's like
much.
a
And
nook
and
right
and,
here.
and Mummy over there,
You
you
can go
know,
up a little
she
bit. Like,
Mummy Alexstrasza was just, you know, she was perfect.
cool.
Frosting on top of the cake.
She was perfect. I'm just saying, as a dragon, you know, even as a human, she's perfect, you know. But Dragonflight gave us everything we wanted.
Absolutely.
They gave us no real borrowed power.
Out a little bit. And then
They gave us exploration.
like this
They
is-
gave us a story about the dragons that we never knew again. Same thing Shadowlands did. They gave us the story of not only how they got their powers, but what they had to do to regain their powers.
Okay.
Not to
Mhm.
mention
You're right.
Norse Damo over here trying to figure out not to become Murzon the whole doggone
She's
thing.
trying to make
Like,
this
come
up
on,
to
like
you,
just
but-
change already.
I was gonna say it's gonna happen eventually. He knows.
Yeah,
it.
no matter what you do, you know it's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Even evil Chromie, I could take that too.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Mhm.
Again, people miss the point about certain things that they don't look at them, and that was just one of those expansions. That's my favorite expansion to this day,
Mhm.
and I've been playing this
She's-
game
okay, yeah.
since inception. So again,
Right there.
that's
I
my
was trying
A.
to get you to a place where it was easier for you to crawl to.
All right.
All right.
So Dragonflight for me was definitely, you know, obviously compared to the last expansion that we had before this, you know,
Oh,
but
pretty
I'm gonna
nice.
say it's
You
an A
just watch
tier,
out.
like postmortem A tier, right?
Homeboy's always got
Dragonfly
the
was a
extra
great
energy
addition.
bar and-
What I really enjoyed about the story
But it's
of,
okay. You
I
know
think it was
why?
really the
It's
story
like
of
that when
Dragonflight,
you're on an airplane
where
and like
the
oxygen masks come down,
these
you
dragons
gotta
come
take
out
care
of
of yourself
nowhere.
first. I get
You know, Razagath is like, "Oh hey, the Titans are lying to you," and we're like,
And
"Oh,
take care of the
teehee, they're
baby
not really
Titans.
lying
There
to
you
us."
go.
And then all of a sudden, we're like, throughout the expansion, and now throughout this expansion, we're like, "Wait, are they good?
Sideways
Like, are we
walking.
just like?" It made us. I
Oh,
almost
that
made me
was
go through like a
interesting.
like a kind of like a midlife crisis, right? I was like, is the Titans actually good? Like, are we just being used by the Titans right now? And it made me think, right?
There's
And I
an
think
eagle
the
mushroom.
best villain that you can ever make is a villain that can make you question the norm of your reality, right? And I think that's exactly what the Primalists did. They made me question the Titans' actual intentions with us. And I mean, the whole, again, you could probably argue, well, ever since Last of the Lich King, we could see that the Titans were just there to serve a goal, right? Because you know you had that one entity in one of the raids that was going to purge all of Azeroth. I forget the name, but we already saw that the Titans were ready to do what they had to do their plan, not our plan. And the only reason that we were with the Titans is that we were helping them do something, right? So again, it made me think, and basically, it made me think: are these actually the bad guys? Like, you know,
But that's
is
not till the
Veriticon
second
actually that bad?
forest.
And
Yes,
I mean, yeah, he is, but we also is, you know, does he have a point though? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, does he have a?
he's
I mean,
valid.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
valid.
you could argue that Zalotep is valid too. I mean, maybe.
We'll talk about her
Yeah.
later. She's
Oh no,
feet.
she ain't making
But
no
yeah,
beat.
feet. So but yeah, I think the systems are great. Renown's a
Yeah,
great
that's a better
system
way
for
for
the
you.
reputation. Flying right out of the gate, by the way, S tier, right?
That's
Just
the
letting
only
us
way
go
you're
around
gonna
and
nail it
hanging
right
out. Overall, I mean, the zones were beautiful. Our
Maybe.
team
Wait,
never
wait.
really missed,
Go-
because even
go
the
up to the
expansions I
tippy
didn't
top
like
area.
Shadowlands I didn't like, but the art team never misses. I mean, like the zones are always great. So
Mm,
honestly,
this is debatable.
that's why it's A tier for me.
But I'm gonna say sure.
Siege.
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of. Sorry, excuse me. I put it at B, but it's only because I know that it was better than Shadowlands based on what I looked up. Because I also didn't play it as well. So
But that's okay. Look, I'd rather you be honest than to spit half truths.
Mhm.
it is what it is. I mean,
And I'm good
There's
with
a
that.
pimple. There are like 20 pimples.
so like I saw that the talent trees were reintroduced, which is like it seemed like a bunch of other things and stuff. So I did see that the PvP scene was kind of lackluster,
I
that
mean,
kind of
PvP
thing.
is kind of
So
dead. It's crazy.
Been
right,
dead
so
for
it's
a while, yeah.
and it's been going the wrong way, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, so I put it above Shadowlands, but only just above because that's
He's gonna use all your extra energy, and he's still gonna have to.
Okay. Now we time for the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So one more thing
I
about
think we're probably
one more thing about Shadow or Dragonflight is I did like how the good guys weren't displayed as perfect good guys, like they could do no wrong.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
liked
Oh,
how they
the-
seemed, like there was mistakes made. They took ownership of it, which is not a common thing or theme for good guys.
well,
Oh, I
but
make a
you look at
mistake.
it from that standpoint, you're right. Because look at all the problems each flight had.
Hmm.
Every flight had some type of issue, internal family issues. Let's be clear. Because with the Obsidian flight, it was two brothers that did. He didn't even know he had a brother till he got there. He did not know he had a brother till he got there.
Hmm.
Let's look at Alice Strasser. Her whole flight was just they didn't trust her. Where she go? Where you disappear to? Malagos, not Malagos.
Oh, there's a fungus. Oh,
Whatever his
there's
name
a
is.
thingy.
That's how. I'm not saying he's unforgettable, but I have a problem
It's so
with names at
interesting.
times.
You get so excited.
The Blue Dragon flight, the leader of the Blue Dragon flight.
Thought it was
He had
Malagos.
no Malagos was the dragon that you had to fight in
Oh yeah, you're right.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he had to rebuild his flight from the ground up again. He had to go back
Why don't you heal
to
yourself right
Legion
there? No,
to go get the old dragon to
no.
help
Bad
rebuild his
decision.
flight.
Oh,
Emagosa
shit.
and her dad and all of
Why you
them
do this?
to help rebuild
Why?
that flight.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
She did.
it was one of those things.
Dead.
So every flight had
But
their
hey,
own
the
internal issue.
fungus,
Mithra had to deal with her,
the fungus did break
with
up
her and her
her.
mom. They had to bring her mom back. So there was so many different things. Of course, in the bronze,
beyond the
with
grave.
Burzon wanted to, you had to deal with that. So again, all the flights had drama.
Yeah.
We had to put together and fix, and some of that drama was their own doing.
Yep.
So I can agree with you on that.
And they owned it though. They didn't just say, "Well, no, somebody else did this. This is not my fault." They owned it. Hey, we failed. Period.
And just a side point on that, I have the book War of the Scales, which tells about Varithroth and Alexstrasza's fight and why the way that they are. And let's just say like this, Alexstrasza has not always been nice.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not by a long shot. So that cold shoulder that you see Viroth give her all the time, it's for a reason. And it's a valid reason. Even before they tried to jail all the primalists in the raid and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there was some major beef. So, yeah.
Capital B.
All right. War Within. Final expansion that we're talking about tonight.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I'll go.
That That is what can I say about this? The agony of defeat.
What?
That was a pun. I like it.
I'm honestly going to say it's floating. It's not over yet for me because I'm still playing. Of course, we still are. So if I was to give it something, it's like a high B, low A. So I would give it a B until I finish because it's like we're still doing the stuff for Koresh and everything's not truly fleshed out yet. Like you said, we're probably still waiting on like another point 0.2 or 0.7 patch to come out to kind of tie up everything because we haven't seen anyone since the end of the first patch.
Sorry.
Haven't
Yeah.
seen them. So I know there's some loose ends to tie up. And if they tie up the loose ends correctly, I'd be more than happy to come back and give it an A.
It
I
is
think
so funny
Blizzard
watching
has learned their
this
lesson
people
over the
because-
last 25 years, 30 years
Yes, you have
of
so
how to
much
kind of
money.
right their own wrongs.
I feel
You know what I mean?
terrible for it.
They'll make a mistake, but then they'll see the mistake. And we said it before, they try to overcompensate so they don't make that mistake again.
It was
I
kinda
think this
sad.
this time is almost like a perfect blend because they fixed the
Like-
professions, which were good because Dragonflight had them, they were kind of all over the place.
Mhm.
They added things in this one where you only get to do it once, but you can you can reset your profession talents, which they didn't have that in Dragonflight. So the crest system
I'm wanting to know what's going
still
on
needs some
here.
work. Valor stones they should get rid of or be uncappable. I mean, little things keep this from being an A, but we all know when that last patch drops, they're going to say, "Okay, uncapped Valor stones." They do it every time.
Oh yeah,
It's automatic. So again, it's little bitty things that they can
Not where
do.
I thought that was going.
If they do right on this next one, it'll make it an A for me.
hmm
So.
I think right now for me, I'm at an A right now. And like there's some
you're a
issues
real
with I mean
adult
I really enjoy this expansion. I've pushed a lot more into Mythic Plus. I'm becoming I'm currently coping to say I like Mythic Plus now. And
Oh, what's right there?
I've been pushing in like raiding and I'm pushing in content. So I think this is just like the golden age for me anyway with WoW. But like the story, I enjoy it. I think it's getting us to the point where again we're gonna be. I think the last Titan is gonna be a huge. I
S
mean,
tier.
yeah. I mean, Midnight. I think
I'm gonna
Midnight.
just say it.
Yeah, Midnight and the last Titan. They're really just shaping up to be crazy expansions. But the War Within, I think it's weird that the intro to the War Within was probably the worst intro expansion trailer I've ever seen in my life. To be honest with you, I'm sorry, but it was just
getting new things.
it looked good, right? Anduin was super realistic, looking all sad and stuff, and the PTSD looked good on him, I guess. But like, I don't know, like it just. Where's he been? Where's Thrall? Where's Anduin? The two people in the expansion trailer, where are they? I mean, it just seems weird that they depict that. I think the only reason they put that sword in there is because everyone was like, "Where's the sword?" And still, what sword? Like, I'm assuming the sword's gonna take a plate, probably take a spotlight in the end of Midnight or the Last Titan. But if we don't see the sword in these next two expansions, I'm just giving up on it at this point. It's just not gonna be talked about ever again. So, yeah, A tier for sure. I mean, I love this expansion. It's just progression wise, I've been really pushing myself lately, and story wise is good. I mean, Undermine was great with the car that you could drive around. I mean, any goblin content, let's go. You know what I mean? Goblins are so goofy. I love it. And then Ghost of Koresh is awesome. Again, I don't like off-world content, but Ghost of Koresh is probably one of those exceptions for sure.
You can wait until we're in the
Okay.
film.
All right, Siege.
I'm an A tier as well. I mean, this is when I came back, but I came back
Let's go.
in season 2. I came back. I didn't do season 1 at all, but came back season 2. Met all y'all through it. You know what I mean? So like, it's a good reintroduction to WoW, especially because I did miss like arguably one of the lowest points, and then the reworking of crawling themselves back. This seems to be a happy in between of coming back. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll ever hold as special a place in my heart as Wrath, but
Mhm.
It's
Time
A
to
for
look at
sure.
Luke's
It's incredibly
fingers.
enjoyable. It's fun to look forward to the raids and stuff too.
I am. I don't know.
So for me,
I really do not.
I'm gonna say it.
I
It's an A tier for
Let's
me.
go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go.
I think it's going in the right direction. We're continuing to get. We're building on the successes of Dragonflight and fixing what I would say are kind of some of the minor issues. Like Dragonflight, I don't think had any glaring issues to me. There were some issues that they could have done better. They could have just done it just a little bit better. But I think War Within just kind of fixed that. And I think, we talked about that pendulum swing. They like to overcorrect. And I think that Shadowlands to Dragonflight was just the right kind of correction. And again, with War Within, I really hope they keep that momentum. But I can be pessimistic at times, and I, wonder when the next shoe's going to drop type thing. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I really think they're on the right path right now.
I can tell you where from between Shadowlands and Dragonflight where they really dropped the ball. You have 5 dragons. You have 5 flights. You couldn't tell me you couldn't work the covenant system into that, where you pick your flight that you're with, and you gain just like how you had the abilities from those same covenants. If you would have put that in Dragonflight, it would have been a completely different game. It would have been a better game than what it was, because now you're doing the exact same thing that kind of kept
do not go in
Shadowlands relevant because of the class differences that you would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. There was a trinket that did just that I really liked, but it didn't work for everybody.
Right. Even the dungeon, even Alcathar Academy, when you first walk in, they have all the flights, and you have to pick which one you want. One was good for crit, one was good for verse. Again, you had little shades of things that they had to just fleshed it out a little bit more. That would have been perfect. Could you imagine a fire mage being underneath Alistraza, or Frost Mage being? You see what I'm saying? There's ways they could have did that, and I think that's one of the points that they. Oh God, off! I wish they would have did that. I think that would have made it. That would have probably made everybody love Dragonflight even more. Dragonflight is a beloved expansion. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I think that probably would have pushed it. A lot of people would have pushed it up to an S tier with that.
I don't.
They didn't do. Go ahead.
I think Dragonflight was like, okay, Blizzard's like, okay, we got to do something different. Let's do this, but let's not fully engage in it. And then they saw it, and everyone's like, they're like, oh, they love this. And then with War Within, they're like, go, do it. Like they're just pumped that like just keep going down this route.
Yeah.
I got credit.
The only thing with War Within that kind of has got me is I think that the Earthens could have been better done.
True.
Allied race, though, that's pretty cool.
I liked them. I liked them as an allied race, but I think that they were just it was just kind of like a little lackluster for allied races. I mean, it was the first allied race since BFA, I believe, or did we get something in between?
Oh,
no,
anything in between.
Yeah.
No.
So, and I not the hugest fan of BFA, but I really actually liked what you had to do to get the allied races in BFA.
Like, how do you do it?
Personally,
it was worth it.
It was that grind that it scratched that grind itch for me.
Yeah.
And it made it kind of like, worth it to do type thing. I just think Earthens could have been better done.
Okay.
Very well. I think that's it, gentlemen.
I think that's all the expansions as of right now. I mean, I'm going to say this right now, though. Midnight's looking like an S tier currently. I mean, I'm making predictions.
Well,
I'm not disagreeing.
We know Last Titan is S tier because that's going to be it. So you know that if it's not S tier, then that's going to be a serious problem.
Yeah.
If it's
That
not
will
S
be a
tier, that's
serious-
going to be the next big exodus.
For real.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, I think
Wrath
we've
to a
done.
shadow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't see. Here's the thing. We can't really say. You got to look at it from that standpoint. We still got 2 more to go and see what happens.
Yeah. And then what comes after? That's the bigger question. It's like, like we're gonna basically, if we think about it, right, we're gonna defeat the void potentially, and then probably deal with the Titans. What comes after? We can't just go back and be like, all right, Larry needs help with the sheep again.
The Protoss show up.
Hmm?
The Protoss show up. They start showing up.
Yeah.
And
We also
introduce
still need to deal-
StarCraft.
We also still need to deal with the Dreadlords and the first ones, and and then Death too. I mean, we still have to deal with a lot. So I guess there's some stuff.
I'll just let this.
There is.
Alien race invasion.
You know what? At this point,
I'm really kind of hoping for just the other side of the map. The
True.
other side of the
Give me-
globe would be great.
give me access to driving a ship around the waters of Azeroth, please. That's what
We
BFA
are
should have done.
we are not playing Black Flag, okay?
Oh,
not playing.
please give me
We're
a black
not doing it. We are
Give me a
not
black
doing
flag. Give me it.
it.
Take my money.
we are
do it, make
not
it pay
doing
to
that.
win. I don't care what you do. Just
We are not playing Black Flag in World of Warcraft. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not
Yes,
doing
we
that.
I mean, I'd be down for it personally. I mean, it'd be
I
something
will.
different.
I'll drink to that.
just think of the PvP, man. Just think
Oh my goodness, I don't want to play Sea of Thieves neither.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes,
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man.
Oh, the raids, everything would be so.
Imagine pirate ship raid. Okay, I'm down.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I can do it.
You
I
thought
can see it.
trains or something.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm already there mentally.
I cannot with y'all right now. Oh, I cannot. See,
They just put a pirate outfit in the
I
training
say
post.
something and y'all just run away with it. Like y'all done went from just the boats to full blown raids.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
I could see it.
yeah.
Could you imagine like a raid
No,
where
I don't want to imagine.
where you have
I
to
don't.
board a ship? You're boarding a ship? That'd be amazing.
We are theory crafting World of Warcraft's 27th expansion. Let's be real. They gonna start running out of that.
Oh, man.
Somebody's going to see this and it's going to get back to Blizzard and it's like they're going to say, "Hey, these guys had a great idea." The next thing you know, look at
There
this.
was a parasol
You know,
too.
foreshadow
Well,
stuff. Yeah,
this is dated, so we'll be talking royalties Blizzard.
Yes. Just to let you know, if this ideal comes up, you owe us a lot.
We're coming for you.
But gentlemen, as always,
Mhm.
I love the fact that it's every other week. But sometimes I enjoy just
There's
having these
probably
chats with
another
y'all. So
hole to
I
get
love
in
it. I
there.
love it.
It's a blast.
it is.
Now we got to figure out
Uh,
what we got to talk about next time.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing.
Teen Titans season 6. Let's do it.
What non-WoW conversation? Say it's not
you-
so.
But you guys play other games? You do other content? What the heck?
Yeah, I am currently starting Silk Song, so I will be indisposed because
There you go.
Hollow Knight took me 110 hours. I promise you, this is probably going to take the same amount of time.
Yeah, well, but we have raid tomorrow, so yeah,
I got you. I got you.
Just
I
saying,
got
just
you. I'll
saying.
be there. I'll be there.
Very good.
One
All right,
hand
guys.
one hand on the PlayStation controller, other one on the keyboard. Just
Hey,
saying.
as long as you can handle the mechanics and the DPS, I don't care what you're doing. Be honest with you.
Right.
We're good, though. No, y'all have my full attention.
All right, guys.
So.
It's been a blast, and until next
All right.
time.
All right.
See y'all around.
Bye bye.